Hello world! Knock on wood. We have it working. We had a really bizarre microphone problem that is now fixed, but I'm not even clear why it's fixed, but we're gonna take it. Here we are 30 minutes late. Sorry if people were hanging around waiting for us to start, but welcome back to Shadowrun, Session 2. When last we left our heroes, we are about to carry out a data heist job on a company high-rise called Delphi Data Solutions on the fringes of the Detroit Metroplex. Our group of fledgling Shadowrunners have gotten together to steal some data before it can be liquidated from the offices of a data storage facility that is soon to be non-existent. They have less than 48 hours from what they've been told before the offices are disassembled and the mainframe is taken offline. It has already been unplugged from the Matrix, and so they're going to need to physically break into the offices to retrieve the data. All of this is being done for an anonymous employer, going by a Ms./Mr. Johnson, who has promised them vital information about the lost friend from their past named Coleman, who was their friend in elementary school when their elementary school was dramatically wiped out by Ares macro technology. Sorry again for the delays. Let me get my notes pulled up here. And we're good to go. I'm going to monologue for about a minute and a half here, and then we will jump into it. Let me see. All right. As a reminder from where we left off, it is now midnight. You split off from the location in broad daylight and decided to rest up after your Technomancer went and registered some sprites and then needed some time to recover from, what is it called? Fading?
Yeah.
It's fading, yeah. You conjured up some machine spirits that gave you a little bit of nasty brain feedback that wiped you out, gave you a terrible headache. So the group decided to wait until cover of darkness to try to break into this place at night. I'll recap some of the details that you got from just an external scouting of the building after kicking it off here. So, here we go. The Delphi Data Solutions high-rise sits near the east end of a strip that was once a busy commercial thoroughfare. But since the wall went up, it's become a low-rent, borderline ghost town, where ailing businesses struggle to keep out squatters, gangers, and vagrants, and struggle harder to convince their employees to risk the daily commute. They probably set up shop here so that they'd be close enough to Aresville proper to suck on the corporate husk like leeches, but far enough outside the perimeter to avoid oversight, or having to pay premiums for civil service ordinances that keep the downtown looking like a shiny, sterile slice of American residential shopping mall pie. Here at midnight, the white snow coating over the streets provides plenty of ambient light while also soaking up sound, making it strikingly peaceful out here. Streetlights stand out like floating globes of flurries, repeating as far as you can see, an infinite mirror of recursive slums in every foggy direction. Serene as it is, you're well aware that the shadows are probably full of dangers. You've seen Tridio coverage of streets like this one littered with bodies from gang conflicts, riots, or protests, depending who you ask, and security crackdowns from knight errants' failed attempts to clean up these streets. Maybe this was all a bad idea. Then your thoughts return to Coleman, all those years ago, age 6 or 7, small even for his age, convulsing under the grip of that, whatever it was, bug thing, waiting for help that would never come. The old schoolyard is somewhere inside the walls nowadays, just a few miles from here. You wonder if they've built anything new on the smoldering crater that was left behind when they murdered your friends and teachers. Whoever this Mr. Mrs. Johnson is. She better deliver on her promises and make this shit worth it. It's too fucking cold for goose chases. You're standing on the streets, looking up at the high-rise. A couple of things are different now from when you were here during the day. First of all, you can see figures in the nearby alleyways, wrapped up in tarps, sleeping. The gangers that were here during the day protesting and milling around trying to cause trouble on the streets have departed, but they might be somewhere nearby if you went looking for them. Seems like they don't want to stand out here in the dark at midnight shouting things at the office building while there's not many people working there. A cursory glance at the parking garage tells you that there's less than half as many vehicles parked here. You're probably dealing with fewer active workers here at night than when you were here during the day. That might make it harder to blend in, but fewer eyeballs to see you. So, trade-offs. It is cold and it is foggy, which may become relevant in some circumstances. You can see it's a light fog, which is a small modifier on most visual actions that you could take outside. There's still lights on in the lobby, and there's still security in the lobby. The same size security detail that there were before. About 4 guards chilling out in the lobby. The parking garage itself connects to a back entrance to the building that you've not closely investigated. And then you also, when you were scouting it during the day, saw that there's an astral barrier surrounding 4 floors of the upper third of the building. That is a barrier that's only visible to Cressida's astral sight. That will prevent seeing in from the astral plane. It will also prevent any magical or dual-natured entities from moving seamlessly into that part of the building. That won't stop any of you from walking in, but if you're scouting astrally or summoning spirits and trying to send them in or any of those sorts of shenanigans, they will have to break through the barrier, which will require rolling dice and causing a ruckus. So there's some degree of magical protection around those layers of the building to keep them from being investigated easily from the outside. And yeah, I think that's everything. There's one thing that I messed up last time that I wanted to retouch on. Your hackers did a wireless scan last time to determine if there were wireless devices that were easily detectable around the building, and they picked up some wireless signals. I left off something from the list of things that you detected. The guards in the building, who are scattered throughout the building at all floors, are wearing biomonitors that are putting off wireless signals. That means that they are wired up to devices that are monitoring their heart rate and physical well-being, and if anything should disturb them or knock them offline, then it might trip alarms or send a signal out to somebody. So you would have picked up on those as well. There are biomonitor signals being just broadcast out from multiple places in the building. And it seems to be the security guards that are hooked up with them. Are there any questions before we proceed?
Nope.
All right. Big it away, toys. You're standing on the streets, probably like a half a block up the road, looking at the building from a distance, and have an opportunity to discuss amongst yourselves what you want to do. You've probably just all arrived in the last couple of minutes to reconvene after going back to your respective homes. And yeah, it is cold, foggy, quiet, and you all walk up sometime around midnight and reconvene in an alleyway up the street.
Just because to clarify real quick, are any of those bio monitor signals outside the building, or are they all inside?
All inside.
Okay.
And
So
you
it's
get
all
them. You're picking up signals from. You're picking up biomonitor signals, several from the lobby and from the rear entrance of the building, and a whole bunch from upstairs, especially clustered around those upper floors of the building. By a whole bunch, I mean like 8, 10, 12. Just a bunch of overlapping signals from the upper floors. but it's hard to pinpoint exactly where those things are from a distance. You're just picking up lots of biomonitor signals from up there, and about half as many from the lower floors from the rear and front entrance.
Okay.
Well, I had an idea on how to get inside, though it will really be more of a one-person thing. To be honest, I'm not really sure what all I can do on the inside or what you guys plan to do out here. I mean, I know what I can do on the inside, but doing it covertly may not be the easiest.
What's your plan to get in?
I'm gonna pull off, like, one of my leather gloves, do this augmentation, and in Kelsey's hand, there's, like, a hole, and a little, like, grapple gun, like, kind of protrudes out of the base of it. Got about 100 meters. This building doesn't look more than 200 feet tall. So, I mean, from the top of the parking garage, for sure, I could launch right up. Get up pretty damn fast.
I'm looking forward to how every possible approach to this is going to piss off 2/3 of the party. Because they can't do anything with it. It's going to be perfect.
I'm going from top floor and go down. There's got to be some kind of roof access.
If you can get to the roof, can't you, like, then lower like the rope or something? The other end of the reverse grapple?
Do you have repelling gloves? Because otherwise, this micro wire is going to shred through your hands.
Fair enough.
Also, do you think that you could rappel or climb 200 feet? Even if I didn't?
Probably not, but, worth considering.
I mean, if you start working out with me a little more, buddy.
Not to say that any of us could hold on to it, but I don't know what the grapple would look like if we could, like, hold on to the grapple and you just pull us back up.
I don't know, to be completely honest. Microwire's pretty light, so I haven't really had to pull. I don't know that I could. Well, I don't know. You guys are all pretty small.
I love that you're immediately living up to the kid climbing the pole while all this stuff is happening.
That has not changed at all.
Might be able to summon a spirit to help conceal you on the way up?
That would definitely be helpful.
Okay.
I don't know how to get you guys up with me, unless you wanted to tackle it from the other end. Start on the bottom, make your way up. That might be very confusing for him, to have people coming from both ways.
Our other option is the friends that we made earlier, causing a distraction to lure out maybe some people from the back entrance or the lobby, or maybe even pull some people from one to the other, and we make our way in that way. I think that
maybe if you guys could get them to have some kind of distraction, I could help conceal Kelsey while she makes her way up from the outside.
Krista, how heavy do you think you are?
115 pounds. My rack can't come. Great. Okay. I might be able to help with that.
Do I feel like
Depends how useful of a spirit I can summon.
Do I feel like I could carry Cressida on my back as I rappelled up?
I like how I am immediately not going to know the answer to a question. I looked up so many things where I was like, they're definitely going to ask me this. Yeah. Can I carry Cressida on my back wasn't on the list, so give me a minute. I will say two things while we're discussing it. One is a reminder. This is not a response to anything you're talking about, but just a reminder because this came up last time. You know that this complex is protected by a bronze level corporate security contract, which means if a high threat alarm is thrown, that like paramilitary forces will descend on this place, but it might take a matter of minutes for that to happen. So there's probably a low level of security here by default, and then if things get triggered, it can quickly get out of hand. and you'll probably have minutes to respond if you even know that the alarm has been triggered. So, but typically, that type a high threat response will only happen if somebody is killed, attacked, or if people with weapons are spotted, or if there's like a known attack happening. But if you trigger like a high threat alarm, based on what you know about the corporate security contracts, there will be heavily armed security forces that you will not be able to tackle showing up in a matter of several minutes, probably. And there's some randomness to how much time.
Secretive is for sure the way we want to go about this.
If you frontal assault, you have to go fast.
I would love to ride on Kelsey's back on this incredible adventure, but it might be better for me to try to conceal her from the bottom so that I can try to respond to things if anything happens while she's moving.
I also don't know if we should necessarily split up like this, because if something does happen, there's no way the other group's really going to know.
I can work out carrying capacity real quick. I need to know the strength of the carrying character. What is your strength?
7.
Okay. Nobody knows what a kilogram is in this group, so hang on.
1,000 grams. What do you mean?
Let's say I weigh 10 kilograms. I like that number.
Your maximum carrying capacity before taking any penalties is 154 pounds for everything you're carrying, including the person that you're carrying. I think Cressida's pretty small. What is your body stat, Cressida? I think you're tiny.
I think I am too. I need just 1 minute to get that information up. Is that okay?
Fine.
I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
You go to your actors, click P.
Oh my god, your body is 1. You are tiny. You are mouse-sized. Alright. Yeah, Cressida's very small. Probably like...
So I was like, I feel pretty confident that, like, you can piggyback on me and...
If you're not carrying anything else of significant bulk, that's probably fine without penalty.
Nico,
what's the heaviest
your,
thing you're carrying,
number?
Kelsey?
4. Big boy.
Really carry. I got a lot.
If we're gonna carry somebody, Cressida is definitely the most carryable. This is not an endorsement of any particular plan. I'm just looking up rules.
Is she? I might be also, there.
You have one body as well?
I have one body.
Yeah, you're both...
I could probably carry you both, one on front, one on the back, but that's more of like a practice thing.
Yeah. We have a skinny nerd and like a mousy girl that are both very easy to pick up and carry wherever.
My heaviest... I've got 2 like handguns. I don't have, and like my like ammo. Ammo is probably the heaviest thing I have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have much outside of weapons and augmentations.
Mm-hmm.
We keep saying this. Are we thinking about splitting the party? Because that's what we would have to do.
I mean, I don't know if that's the best decision considering we need to like retrieve data.
Yeah.
Well, but we can do whatever y'all want to do. But how do you plan to get into the building? Because I can get into the building, but I'm not going to know a whole lot about retrieving data or finding data. Do you have like a USB? Where, like I could like plug it into a computer and have you hack it?
We don't know exactly what we need. Like, we also don't know, because Cressida, you were saying there's some sort of spiritual guard up there. We don't know what else could be interfering up there. It's gonna take all 4 of us to truly get this, because we don't know what we're gonna come across.
Okay,
so,
I'm gonna call for a perception test from everybody in the group. This will, let's see, the way to do this, you're gonna go into your character sheet, go down to perception, you're gonna click on it, and then let me see. Oh, actually, before anybody rolls it, let me do something. I can actually turn on the fog effect globally, and it'll automatically apply it to everybody's rolls, which is awesome. But give me a second to turn it on.
So click out of your perception, I guess.
It should apply it automatically, but give me a second. Fog. Partial light. No wind. Alright. Applied. that should apply now. Okay, so everybody should be able to just roll a perception roll. Just click your skill and then click roll, and it should automatically do the right things.
Beautiful.
I can't click the roll button. Dice keep appearing in front of it.
We got 2 hits from Kelsey. We got 0 hits from Echo. We've got 0 hits from Orion. And we just need Cressida.
I don't know how to do this roll.
So
It's
find
under
your
skills.
character sheet under the Actors tab. So click on Actors in the upper right, and then click on your character sheet. And then scroll down through your skills list to Perception.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Click on Perception, and then click Roll. You don't have to change any of the stuff in the little pop-up window when it pops up. It defaults to all the right stuff.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
7 hits.
Limit 7,
My
hit 7.
God.
All right, everybody's going on talking, and our highly perceptive detective, Cressida. Cressida, you're looking down the street in the direction of the building, just quietly contemplating while everybody else is kind of arguing about what to do. And you notice a faint, distant buzzing sound, and then you focus your eyes, and you think you see a tiny security drone fly around the face of the building near you, and then back around the far side out of sight. It looks like there is a tiny flying security drone scouting the perimeter of the building. You've spotted it from a distance. It's hard to see in the fog, and it's far away, so it was a little hard to hear. But it's quiet enough, and you were paying attention closely enough to have noticed just a tiny little dot hover around the exterior of the building and then disappear. At the rate it's going, you think it probably leaves long swaths of time between each pass, but you've noticed that it's there now, so you could time an approach to avoid having it see you. You probably have like 15 minutes between each pass at the rate it's going.
Okay, so there's a security drone up there, and we might be able to time our approach around it. We just have to wait for it to disappear to the other side of the building.
Now that you've noticed it and are aware of it, you should be able to time an approach around it. If you do anything that's too slow or time consuming, then it might swoop around and spot you. And it's hovering right around the like 9th or 10th floors outside, which is about the same place where you saw an air spirit hovering when you were astral perceiving during the daytime yesterday as well. So it looks like they might have a physical drone and an astral spirit both patrolling the exterior of the building near the vital floors.
Maybe I can spoof a command to the guys watching the rear exit and tell them they need assistance in the lobby, and that might clear out the back entrance. If we don't have an effective distraction, then... Okay, here's my plan. Y'all let me know if this is a good idea. We try and find our guys from last time, get them to cause a little bit of a ruckus, but not like a high security threat near the front. And then I can try and spoof a command to the guys in the back to say, hey, we need assistance up front with some hooligans, and we try and make an entrance in the rear of the building.
If we need to, I can probably summon a spirit that might be able to distract the one that's patrolling up there for a few minutes if we time it in time with the drone.
And for the record, I've looked up the concealment skill. It basically, if she summons a spirit that has the concealment ability, it can suppress sensory cues from a person to make them more difficult to notice. It basically gives a dice modifier on all stealthy actions.
How long does that concealment spirit stick around?
Spirits stick around until they have performed all the actions that you've summoned them to do, and it's sort of loose. It'll follow along someone and keep them hidden until they have crossed from point A to point B, wherever that be, and then that'll be a task from the spirit. It'll basically do its job for the scene, and then if you ask it to do something different, or if you transition to some new activity, it'll complete its action, and that'll count as one of its tasks.
So,
Do I also have the option to summon it for astral combat to simply try and combat the guardian that's up there?
Yes, but it will not be subtle.
Okay.
Because in the
Guardian's
best
only
case, it
controlling-
goes up there, destroys the other spirit, and disperses it into the astral plane, and then the person that summoned it is like, where the hell's my spirit?
The Guardian's only patrolling those floors, though, right?
The Guardian?
not-
Right.
yeah,
Only the
one-
exterior.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and only
you've-
the exterior.
That's what you've seen,
The
yeah.
ones we're in, okay.
You've seen a small drone buzzing around the exterior of those upper floors and a spirit, and it seems like they're just cycling the building. So you have kind of two different tripwires to the outside of the building to approaching those floors.
Does the spirit look like it's looking down into the...
You can't tell. She saw it from a
Okay.
long distance with astral perception. She sees that there's an air spirit on the astral plane that is flying around the building as though patrolling. She can't tell exactly where its attention is. I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Oh, just on the drone thing, Cressida was the only person that detected it because it required 3 successes on the check. She got 7, everybody else got 2 or less.
She told us about it, though, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just saying if she hadn't rolled in, then nobody would have noticed.
Oh, yeah.
He's just saying, thank God we got her super
For
high
real.
perception.
Amazing perception.
12 dice is nuts.
Alright, so what's the thought about my plan?
This is the best one so far.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's a way in, that's for sure.
I guess, Nico, you can go try and find those guys maybe nearby. And, Josh, it says to spoof command, I have to have a mark on the owner I'm imitating.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can I, of the devices in the front lobby, if there's one that seems to be getting the majority of communications, or like a device that seemed like it would be in charge in some way, whether that's because it's more expensive or it has more ins and outs, I want to try and put a mark on that.
Okay. I understand what you're asking. I'm debating something in my head real quick.
Okay.
Because I know what's happening, and I'm trying to decide what your character would know. I need to check something on Matrix Perception real quick.
Okay.
You're effectively trying to figure out what device is controlling the drone. I don't know if you have access to that information right now.
I'm not necessarily trying to find the one that's controlling the drone. I'm just trying to find one that's that seems like it, because I want to send a mark to the device that seems like the guy that's up in the front lobby that would be getting the most communications. I don't know if I would have to see the device, like actually look at the device.
What is it you want to be able to do after getting a mark?
So after I
You want to spoof a command to what? To do what?
I can spoof a command to one of the guys in the back lobby to say, hey, we need some assistance up front to try and stop these hooligans that are causing problems, and try and pull some guys from the back entrance so we can make it into the rear entrance.
Okay. Spoofing a command is like sending a command to a device to make it carry out an action. But what you're doing is like you want to send a message to somebody, so you actually just want to like you actually just want to have like their comlink number to be able to contact them or whatever, which is something I think you can get from a Matrix Perception roll if you pick up there.
Can I make it look like it came from, or send it from?
One of the results from that is a different question. I hear what you're asking. You can get a target's comm code with sufficient results on a Matrix Perception test. So if you pick up signals from a security guard's comm link in the back of the building, which you can do wirelessly within 100 meters with sufficient successes, then you'll be able to pick up his comm code, and then you can call him. The question you're asking is, you want to make it sound like you want to make the call.
Spoof a text.
Yeah.
I want to spoof a text message. I want to spoof a message.
There's no amount of prep that would have gotten me ready for this session. Give me 1 second. Crash program brief.
I mean, you probably need a control device
Probably.
and then use that to send message.
You spoof a device owner's identity, making the device think that your command is a legitimate one from its owner. You need 1 mark on the icon you're imitating.
I think what
I think
Corey's
spoof
saying-
command could probably make it seem like your call is coming from somebody else's phone. There's
What's
also
the code?
to listen in on traffic between 2 other devices is a snoop action. I'm looking at what other things this might fall under. I think the closest thing that I've seen is probably spoof command. I missed what Corey said a second ago though because I was distracted.
I said he could like find the one he wants to spoof it from, and control their device and use it to send message.
Right. Oh yeah.
Which is a
Oh
simple
yeah.
action
Spoof a
to
command to
use
their
it.
device to call the other one, and then yeah. I'm doing a quick scan to see if there's anything else that might fall under this, but I think that's probably how you want to do it. Crash program check.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah. All right. So you need a mark on one of the guards' phones to call the other guard's phone. Go ahead and scan the area from the street across the way and do a matrix perception test to see how many hits you get. This is to pick up signals of devices and maybe be able to acquire the comm code of one of the devices that you can detect out to 100 meters.
That's computer. Computer plus intelligence. How do I say to use my intelligence?
I think if you roll the skill, it should automatically apply the right attribute.
Oh, the skill specifically matrix perception?
Matrix perception. Oh. So it's computer. I think computer uses intuition by default.
Oh, it's intuition, not intelligence.
Yeah.
I just that's a good thing. Right?
Yeah. Go ahead and do
There's-
computer plus intuition. The number of successes you get is going to be limited by the data processing value of your
No,
okay.
okay, so you can change the attribute.
Yeah, it's a drop down.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
just
intuition
drop
then.
down.
And are you using your comlink or your cyberdeck for this?
Whichever
The data
one
processing
you-
value of your comlink is probably better.
That's a 4 versus a 2. Yeah, I'm using my comm link.
All right, go ahead.
So
So you're using your comlink to scan for wireless signals to try to figure out what devices are around.
do I
Ooh, this music. Gotta tone
do I
it
need to
down.
add 4 from my comm link somewhere? Or I don't know what that 4 means. Does that mean I roll 4 extra dice?
No. Or yes, it's gonna be the data processing plus your computer skill. Sorry. Let me look. This is gonna be your computer skill plus your intuition. The data processing in brackets means that you can't get a number of successes higher than the data processing of the device you're using.
Got it. So 4
It's
is
capped
like, so the
to.
limit would
It's
be
capped to 4. Yeah, the limit is 4.
Got it.
So go ahead and roll that.
4.
Nice.
Okay, 4 successes. 4 successes on a matrix perception test means that you can spot an icon you're looking for, costs 1 success. Find the comm code of the target that you have located is 1 success. So you want to spot a
I need to
comm link.
spot-
You want to spot a comm link in the front lobby, spot a comm link near the rear of the building, find the comm code of the one in the rear of the building, and then I think those are the 3 things you need. I think you needed 3 successes. You wanted to spot both devices and then get the comm code of the farther away device in the back of the building. So you have located the comm links of 2 personnel in the first floor of the building, one near the front, one near the back, and you have the comm code of the one in the back. You technically have 1 success left over, which you could use to check for matrix damage, detect a data bomb, determine the device rating of a device. I'm seeing if there's anything on here that seems like it would be
With the
relevant.
matrix perception, can I find the? I technically haven't found the drone, so can I find the drone?
Yeah.
Like I haven't spotted it virtually, so I'd rather do that.
Yeah, you spot that there's a drone floating up there near the outside of the building. It's on the far back side of the building right now, and it is emitting wireless signals.
Okay.
So that's your matrix perception check. You've located. For the record, Bill's looking into the Matrix here. He's looking at his. He's looking at. Do you have cyber eyes?
I do have cyber.
Okay. So he is using his comm link to scan for things, and he is seeing overlaid on his vision as he looks at the building little floating icons for the things he's detecting. He sees that there's a floating icon on the drone on the outside of the building. He sees icons of a comm link near the front of the building in the front lobby and an icon near the back lobby. And he presses in on the icon near the back lobby and finds out its comm code, which is basically the phone number to call that device. Now to get a mark... Now what you want to do is make the first, make the device in the front call the device in the back, right?
Whenever we get the guys who agreed to help us to make a ruckus.
Okay.
If you want me to go ahead and make rolls for that, then I will.
So you want to do a spoof command which requires one mark.
No. Control device.
Control device.
To send message, which requires one mark as well.
Okay.
Oh.
So either way, it requires a mark. The two ways that you can acquire a mark are brute force or hack on the fly. The difference between them is that one uses hacking and logic with sleaze. The other one uses cyber combat and logic. So it's whichever thing you're better at.
I have a bonus, I think, to one of those.
It's either cyber combat and logic or it's hacking and logic.
I have the code slinger quality. I can't. The rule book's not loading for me.
Code Slinger says you get a +2 dice pool modifier on a matrix action of your choice, so it's whatever you picked.
Okay, it's just not written there, but I'm pretty sure I picked hack on the fly.
Okay, so hack on the fly. All right. Now, once you are connected to the matrix, which you are, this giant wireless network that's tying all of this together, any actions that you take that involve sleaze or attack are illegal actions and will gradually draw attention to you the longer you stay connected without turning your devices off. And the more of these actions you do, the more Overwatch score it's going to bring because you are doing illegal things while connected to the Matrix, and eventually that will draw attention in your direction.
Okay.
But go ahead and do your hack on the fly to try to get a mark on that device in the front lobby.
All right. I'm sorry.
This is hacking and logic.
Hacking and logic.
Limited by the sleaze of your cyber deck.
So it's
now,
hack on the fly is not brute force.
Right. Those are two different actions that do the same thing. It's just which skill you're better with.
Okay.
And you picked hack on the fly.
So, and you said that's hacking plus.
This is going to require using your cyber deck, so you are now plugging in your brain to your tiny illegal laptop, connecting to the wireless matrix, looking around at all of those icons, and you are going to try to put a mark on one of them.
Oh, okay. I see. Hack on the fly. Got it. All right. I am caught up. I am hacking on the fly.
It's going to be opposed by the intuition plus firewall of the target, which I'll roll.
And the thing, the code slinger gave me a bonus to what? Is that like in the modifiers?
It's a skill of your choice that you would have had to pick, or a matrix action of your choice. So if it's hack on the fly, then it's +2.
Okay, so that's and I just put that in the modifiers then.
Sure.
Okay, got it.
Here's the dice to resist it. Ooh, 3 hits on the resistance roll, 5 hits on the... Okay, you generate some Overwatch score. You are aware that you have made noise on the Matrix. It's not enough to have drawn attention, but if you continue making noise of this sort, it is going to draw attention to you eventually. Okay. You currently have a mark on the comm link of the front lobby device that you've picked up. and you now have the ability to have it make a... What was it called? It wasn't
Control
spoof command.
device.
Control device. All right. Now it's data processing.
Electronic warfare plus intelligence.
Okay, yeah. It's electronic warfare plus intelligence, limited by your sleaze. Versus intuition and firewall.
Three.
Two. You got just enough. Alright, you get to... Alright, you've taken control of the device enough to make a single command. What will that be?
Okay.
You perform an action through the device as though you control it, using your comm link or deck like a remote controller, video game controller. If it's an action that requires... Okay, which requires no dice rolls.
Which requires nothing, yeah.
Okay, you've taken control of the comm link of the front lobby person, and you have the comm code of the back lobby person. You have taken control of it without their awareness, and now get to make a call from their device remotely. So go ahead and do it.
Okay. I'm just going to send the message that this is going to be whenever this isn't immediately.
Okay, you can queue it up and then trigger it whenever you want.
Yeah. It's just going to be
if it's a text, you can pick your exact wording and I'll note it.
Okay. I want it to be we need some help from you guys in the back. There's some hooligans causing a ruckus up here, and it'd be nice to get them out of here before we have to call for our bronze team.
Okay. Okay, so there's some hooligans causing a ruckus up front. We need you to come up here and
help disperse them.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Okay, you have control of that device and you have that message queued up. You can hit send and it'll trigger whenever you want it to. And you are aware of that, so you can tell the rest of the group that.
Alright, I tell the gang, I got us queued up for this message. All we need is a proper distraction, and then we time everything to get to the back door. Which, we know where the back door is, right? Maybe we should have asked this ahead of time.
The back door is just on the back face of the building, and it's connected to that tunnel that goes from the parking garage.
Got it, okay. So that's
it's a separate entrance from the parking garage.
It might be locked, so we might need to, force our way in. That'll be the only other thought. But we need to get those guys of yours, Nico.
I have a lockpicking kit.
Ah, perfect. We don't have to break the door then.
Okay, well, I'll go round up the boys and let them know to make a little ruckus in about 15 minutes at the front.
Okay. So, Nico, you head up the street and you find Jamie, Ferocious Raptor, and the Data Liberators gang, who is currently sleeping next to a dumpster where he can see the building from, taking a little snooze break from his protesting work. And he's like, "Oh, hells! You scared the shit out of me, Nico."
Sorry, man.
Or sorry, he probably calls you Echo because you went by your hacker name, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry to spook you, bro. It's time to call in that favor. I think we're making a move tonight.
One of the guys in the back of the alley has a huge, chrome revolver pointed at you, and he's like, "Easy, easy, easy, it's a friend." Distraction? What? Oh, you busting in?
Busting in, buddy. Time to make a little noise, cause a little damage.
I like it. I like it. He starts going down the alleyway and just kicking the guys to wake them up, one by one. And he's like, "We got work to do, boys." He picks up a piece of rebar, like he's going to do anything with that. And he's, pounding it against his hand. And he's, grinding his teeth and staring at the building across the street.
Oh, we're going to time this up for about 15 minutes. Get your boys ready.
He's snarling at the building, and he's kicking snow and pacing back and forth, and he's going, secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone." He's twitching a bit like he's on something. and he's waking up the guys, and it's just glaring at the building like it offended his honor. He's super unhinged, TLDR, and he's waking up the gang. There's about a half a dozen of them across the whole rainbow of hair dye colors, and he's waking them up one by one, and most of them are pretty pissed to be woken up in the middle of the night. They didn't sign up for protesting when it's this damn cold outside, but they're all about it, and
It's alive.
they clearly look up to you. Oh, master hacker. All right, so they're getting amped up, and they don't need to be asked twice. They're happy to help with any kind of operation that they think is aligned with their interests, and so they will make a ruckus. They seem like they might even like to tangle with some guards. There's some guns in the mix. Things could get pretty ugly, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so Nico, you return back to the group.
Yep.
You got a 15-minute countdown till these boys march up to the front door and start causing a ruckus. Milo has command lined up to send a message to the backdoor guards saying that they need help out front.
Yep. So we should time this with the drone after they go in, after the message is sent.
Okay.
We'll see the movement of guards to the front, and then we can try to go and find this secret entrance and break in.
Okay. Do we want to do anything else in the next 15 minutes or advance time until they kick it off?
Advance.
All right.
Yeah, I just say advance.
All right. All right, group. About 15 minutes pass, and one sec. I was looking for a music track here. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Here we go. All right. You see your friends noisily start marching across the road. They actually did it after about 12 minutes. They seemed like they didn't want to wait that long. And they walk across the road about 3 minutes before you planned on, and they start marching up to the front gates. There's a little stairway leading up to the little courtyard outside of the front lobby, and they walk up to the front gates, which are closed over with the futuristic equivalent of a chain link fence, and they start banging on the fence, making a ruckus, and a couple of them start climbing it up. One guy pulls out some wire cutters and starts cutting the razor wire at the top of the fence and just ripping it down so that they can climb over and cause a ruckus. And the main guy has a piece of rebar, and he's just banging it on the fence and shouting obscenities at the building. You see a couple of guards approaching the door and looking through it from the inside. They've not come out yet, but it's clearly got their attention. What's the group doing?
Where's the drone? It hasn't passed yet, right? I'm still I put a mark, or not a mark, but I did a matrix perception.
You can still be in the
to
matrix. For the record, your Overwatch score will increase by 2d6 every 15 minutes that you stay in the Matrix after you have triggered an action that could potentially draw attention. And when it reaches a total of 40, you will get booted off the Matrix, which if you're connected with your cyber deck is going to cause dump shock and your brain's not going to like it. So you probably are safe to sit there watching the drone and watching the icons move around if you don't do anything else for anywhere from another, 30 to 60 minutes before eventually somebody's gonna notice you. I'm just telling you this because your character's aware of it. I'm not telling you because you've got plenty of time. I'm just telling you how it works. I'm secretly tracking how much attention you've drawn on the Matrix, and when the gods of the Matrix grid notice you, they're gonna just dump you off, and you're gonna get disconnected and lose all of your marks and icons that you've noticed. But for now, you're connected to the Matrix, and you are watching the drone icon and can see where it is. It is on the far side of the building while all this is going on, and it has stopped in its patrol and started to reverse direction to come back towards the front. So you gather that it has been alerted and is being called back around to survey what's happening. You see it about 2/3 of the way around the back of the building, and it stops and reverses direction to start coming back towards the front on the far side from the parking garage.
Okay.
So it's going to be out of the picture for a while.
Okay.
So let's
All right,
move.
cool. So we can move, yeah.
All right.
I also obviously want to keep an eye on the drone and the AR as well. As a
Sure.
Techno wizard.
Okay. He's aware of the icon. He can point it out to you so that you don't have to roll a matrix perception. As long as you are, as long as you're technomancering, you can just view it and see where it is. All right. So you two are both walking along while still connected to. Well, if Bill is in VR, he's jacked into his cyberdeck and he's not going to be able to like walk up to the
I
building and do
will
stuff.
pick him up and put him over my back and start carrying him like a backpack.
Okay. Do you want to do that?
We've done it before.
All right. He's limp on your back because his brain is plugged into the Matrix and he's watching for the location of the drone. He's seeing all of this in cyberspace overlaid on top of the real world. Nico can AR it because he's not doing hacker actions. He's just being a technomancer. So he has no visible gadgetry. He's just walking along and his eyes are magically seeing radio waves and wireless signals. And since Milo has pointed out to him the drone, he can look up and just see the icon and see where it is. So Nico's walking along fully aware of it. Milo is limp on your back connected to his device. Cressida is walking alongside you, presumably. All right, and you can approach the parking garage from the... Are you approaching it from the far side just to enter without people noticing you crossing the perimeter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You get there, you see a bunch of cars parked in the garage. There's nobody watching the parking garage that you can see. You've not picked up wireless signals from there, and when you visibly approach it and the fog is clearing and you're peering into the first floor of the garage from the other side of the fence, you see no one in it. It looks completely desolate. It seems like the coast is clear if you can get past this stupid fence with, like, nasty wires on the top of it.
Can I do like an astral scan just to ensure that there's nothing else going on?
Sure.
Or is that pretty much covered by my previous one?
No, you can do that anytime you want.
Okay.
If you want to kick into astral perception mode, your eyes are going to flash like a blue color, and you look up at the building. The astral barrier around the 8th through 11th floors of the building is still there, just like it was during the daytime. And you still see an air spirit patrolling on the astral plane, and it is rapidly flying down from the building to the side of the ruckus where the gang is making noise. The drone takes some time to circle the building. Spirits in the astral plane can move like crazy fast. They can almost instantaneously be where they want to be, and so you catch a glimpse of this thing like pausing in midair, hovering up there, looking down, and then like flashing down to ground level, and it is hovering over the gang members and looking at them and checking them out. Its full attention seems to be on them, and they probably are completely unaware that it's there.
Great. So we want to go now while it's distracted.
It seems like the drone, the spirit, and the security guards are all distracted right now.
Right.
As far as you can see. So you got a fence to get through. It's not the most robust fence in the world. It's mainly there to slow you down more so than to keep you off, on the assumption that getting through it will cause a ruckus. But it is nighttime, it's dark, and everybody's distracted. So does anybody...
Wire on the top?
It's got barbed wire on the top. It's probably relatively easy to get through if you have any tools that could potentially cut through it.
I've got a knife, but I was just gonna say, can I take off my leather jacket and like kind of throw it over the top for us to use to climb over?
Sure.
Right.
Y'all owe me a new fucking jacket.
Yeah, your jacket is ripped to shreds, and everybody can climb over it and hang on to it while they're going, so it's just getting torn and ripped and pulled back and forth the whole time. I'm not going to require die rolls to pass over it because you're not close enough to people to have to make a stealth roll, and because this isn't difficult enough to require like climbing rolls or anything, especially if you can just try it over and over. Assume that the characters that are less athletic might have to try it a time or two, or get like a cuff snagged on the barbed wire and look doofy while they're doing it. But all of you can get over because there's nothing explicitly time pressuring you, and it's like a 6-foot fence. So you can get over it at the cost of one jacket.
I'm still gonna take the jacket off and look at it with all of like the cuts through it,
Uh-huh.
and pull it back on my body.
It probably looks cooler, though.
It's completely shredded. It's got padding hanging out in places. It's heinous.
It's messed up, and I'm mad.
Yeah, but you're through. You're all standing on the first floor of the parking garage. The building entrance is off in the distance. You can see a light from the rear lobby through the tunnel up ahead, and a whole bunch of cars parked here. The cars are... You haven't looked at the upper floors of the parking garage, but this lower floor of the parking garage is only like a third full. There's like a dozen vehicles down here, and most of them are like working class vehicles. Equipment vans and cheap cars that are kind of run down and older. There's a couple of nicer vehicles parked in places. There's... I'm gonna say there's about 3 nice vehicles parked in the garage, and by nice I mean like not completely run down, shoddy, or utilitarian looking, but like vehicles that look kind of nice that might be owned by somebody in upper management or somebody with a more specialized role. And then like a bunch of work vans and stuff. If you had to guess based on the vehicles that are here, there's probably less than 20 people in the building right now.
Does it seem as though the people in the rear have started to move to the front?
I was gonna get to that. I'm just describing what you see when you enter the parking garage on the far side and start working your way inward. If you want to just go ahead and casually walk across the parking garage, you can see the back lobby. There's a tunnel leading to the building. There's a back lobby with the lights on that you can see through that tunnel that has mag scanners and everything that you saw in the front lobby. There's just a back checkpoint that's basically identical to the front one. And before you get into that tunnel, there is a security checkpoint set up with a coned off entrance for checking vehicles. And there's a single guard still standing there manning that post. So as you're walking across, you see off in the distance that there's a guy sitting in a chair staring down at his comlink, seemingly unaware of all of you approaching, just like way off in the distance. And he has a table full of equipment and a coned off section like they intend for him to check cars as they're coming in. And he is bored and just staring at his comlink.
Is he biocensored?
He's wearing a security uniform, and you're of the impression that the security guards were all biocensored, at least from how many of them you saw when you were scanning during the daytime. You would venture to guess probably. You can confirm one way or the other if you want to stop and do another matrix perception test.
No. I'm just...
Oh, actually, you're still in VR in Matrix
I'm in the
mode.
Matrix, so I wasn't sure if I would see them or not.
I'll say it's trivial to notice that there's a biomonitor signal up ahead, yeah. It's fine.
I could attempt to summon a spirit to do some concealment for us, although that might be something that becomes more salient soon. I could also send my rat to bite him. And we could go real fast.
I mean, he's not really paying attention, right, Josh? Like he's looking down at his comlink.
Yeah, you're like you all kind of duck behind a car and see him off in the distance. Like somebody signals, like, "Oh, I see a guy up ahead," and you all duck down behind a car. He's totally zoned out. He's sitting in a chair by a security checkpoint intended to check vehicles. Past him, you see the lobby, and it looks like the lobby is empty. And so he's alone. There's one guy. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. This tunnel leads to the back end, the back lobby. But the back lobby has a checkpoint.
There's a lobby in the back.
Yeah. Yes, this is the rear lobby, and so you have one lone guy who has stayed behind while everybody else left that is sitting at a security checkpoint for vehicles, and nobody paying attention to the back lobby beyond him. You just got to figure out what to do about this guy in your path.
Send in the rat.
Well, yeah, what if I send my little friend to watch him, and if he happens to look up, then he'll bite him? If we sneak by, we sneak by. But if he needs a little distraction, then the rat can bite him and we sneak faster.
Depends how complex of an action a rat can be assigned. But I think go
good
bite him is
rat.
probably approaching the limit of what your trained rat can do, even if he
great.
is like a mentor spirit.
I believe I might have both, but that's complex too.
We're gonna say that the limit of complexity that you can give a command to the rat is go bite him.
Just go bite him.
Joe
I don't know
Biden
if
is a good enough distraction, in my opinion.
Go bite him and we run.
Yeah,
Quietly.
and a quiet run.
Yeah, go bite him, we quiet run.
All right.
I'm gonna turn and look at the two, Cressida and Nico, and be like, no huffing until we're inside.
Are you? So I need to jack out if you're.
Now I can run quietly with you on my body.
Okay.
Kelsey's got this.
I'm
She technically takes no
strong as an
penalty
ox.
because you're still under her carrying capacity. She can wear you like a jacket, and she's strong enough to not care.
Honestly, she almost threw me.
Which
off
is
the barbed
wild.
wire.
Listen, I had to lay you down in the snow, put up the jacket, put you back on my back, climb the fence.
She's
Steal
pretty
the
strong.
quicker
Just imagine I'm
than
sitting there in like the
Cressida.
fetal position on your back, like doing this the whole time.
Fireman carry over a fence.
She's pretty strong, you're pretty scrawny, and she's not carrying a whole lot other than you. So, yeah.
Alright, so I wait till
All right.
we're kind of ducked behind the closest car that we can get to, and then
Okay.
I pull my little friend out of my
right.
pocket and set him down and send him loose.
All right. You're like, get up!
What's your rat's name again?
Havis.
Havis? With an H?
C-A-V-U-S. It is
Cav-
Latin for cave.
Ah.
Cave rat goes.
Rat. I don't
Um,
know.
What color is your rat?
He's gray.
All
He's
right.
a very mundane looking rat,
All right.
Rat one.
but he's a good boy.
Mundane-looking gray rat goes scurrying off and disappears under the vehicles. You cannot see him. He is too small. It is too dark. It is cold and foggy. You start to wonder if trusting a rat to do your mission for you was a good idea in the first place, and then you hear a high-pitched "Ah!" The guy jumps up out of his chair, gets up on the chair in a rather dainty fashion, sticks his comlink in his pocket, starts just spouting obscenities, and is stomping and cursing and looking around like he's paranoid. You see him lift up his leg, and he's like checking his ankle and cursing under his breath and looking around all paranoid, and then he jumps down from the chair and runs toward the front of the building, leaving behind his table of equipment. And
Run!
Run, go!
Oh no, I can't. I'm in the Matrix.
you see him fishing out his comlink while he's kind of jogging diagonally across to the front of the parking garage, and you can distantly hear him like having a conversation on his comlink, and he's like, no, a fucking rabies. I'm talking about, I probably have I need somebody to come take the post. No, you don't understand. I don't care what's going on in the front. I just got bit by a fucking... And he just disappears around the corner.
This guy's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah.
I am trying to quietly whistle as I run because, well, I'm mostly sure my rat is fine. I do hope he's okay.
Professional rating 2. I know you don't know what that means, but in game terms, these guys are not the cream of the crop of security officials. Anyway... you've created an opening from a combination of a gang riot in the front and a rat bite in the back. The back entrance seems completely unmanned. You run through the tunnel to the back lobby of the building, which is fully lit. When you approach, you see that you're going to immediately notice something that doesn't require a roll to notice. All of you are familiar enough with this type of work to know what security cameras and motion sensors look like at a glance, and they've got them all over the lobby. Which presumably means someone somewhere could or might eventually see you crossing through here. As to whether somebody's actively watching through them, as to when that might come to light, as to whether anybody would notice at all, you don't know, because you don't know where this data feed is going or who's paying attention to it, but there are motion sensors and cameras in the lobby. The other thing is that there's active personnel in the lobby, so the motion sensors probably would not be closely monitored because they expect there to be motion, but there are cameras here, for what it's worth. 3 of them posted around the lobby at each corner, looking down on the entire lobby. You are standing outside the door to the lobby. There is a security checkpoint with a magnetic scanner and what appears to be some chem sniffer equipment, probably for locating explosives or ammunition. All of that is just laying strewn on a table. And there are tables in an L shape blocking you from walking across the lobby without going under the mag sensor, but with nobody there, it would be trivially easy to just crawl under the table or hop over the table. Bypassing that stuff. It's just a question of whether you want to do anything about the security cameras or whether you can do anything about the security cameras.
Could we use Snoop to intercept the Matrix traffic coming from the camera to figure out where it's going?
Make a Matrix perception roll.
Okie dokie.
I love when Milo and Nico ask questions that I'm like, I don't know. Can we? Is that a thing we can do?
Just read the 98 pages of Matrix rules and you'll know the answers to none of these questions. Because who remembers that?
I didn't see nothing about punching in the Matrix.
Is there like a quick thing to click on for Matrix perception?
It's a computer roll.
Clicking on computer.
It's a computer skill roll.
You
Using
add to
intuition or whatever the
Technomancer,
default is.
Apparently. as
I
well.
see.
But yeah, I've just been hitting computer and changing my thing to intuition.
Yeah, unless Technomancer's use something different, it's computer skill.
I'm honestly following this rule summary I got from Corey, which is a godsend.
I'm glad it's useful. +2 for Technomancers. That's nice.
It's also for necromancers, but they're few and far between.
Not enough bodies yet.
3 hits.
All right, you pick up the icons of the cameras, and I think with 3 successes, I'm gonna let you notice something without requiring further rolls on it.
Okay.
Because you got enough successes to notice these and then to gain additional piece of information. There are icons floating out there in the Matrix for these cameras, and they are connected to nothing and slave to nothing. They're not part of another network. They are on loop doing their own internal recording, and you would venture to guess they were probably connected to a network that's no longer active or online. You think these are probably keeping recordings and talking to nothing, because they are not slave to a device. They are not on any local network or personal area network, and you see no other icons that are linked to them. They are just sort of free-floating in space. They might be used as evidence against you, but you don't think anybody's going to notice you because of them.
Sure. Yeah, they're dead cameras, guys. It's just keeping a local recording, so we should be safe.
Should we probably hack it and destroy?
This is not standard security protocol either. This is probably a symptom of the fact that they've taken the building network offline to liquidate stuff.
We should probably, shut off the cameras still, otherwise we'll be on recording.
Yeah, I agree. Let's hack the cameras.
If they're saving the information locally, you could physically destroy the cameras and then they'll have no record.
True.
Oh, okay.
Just shoot them.
Well, unless we have a silencer, I don't know. How silent are guns in Cyberpunk? Not very?
Not the guns I'm carrying.
No.
Not by default.
Is
The rest
there
of
a
you,
way
I
for
got a Beretta and a Streetline Special. Any of the other y'all got guns?
You know what? Just
I
throw a
could
jacket
summon
over
us-
your head and then just hit it with a fist.
I mean,
Rip it out the wall.
if I rip it out of the wall and they come back in here, they're gonna notice the camera is gone.
How many cameras are there?
3.
3.
Honestly, we could just...
Are they wireless?
They have wireless signals and they're connected to nothing.
So, yeah, we could
It seems like they're
I could
supposed to be talking to a network, but right now they're just on their own. They've been disconnected.
They're wireless. They are sending stuff to a local storage, correct?
They're sending stuff to their own storage.
Okay, so the storage is on the camera.
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have to worry about somebody noticing you, and physically destroying the cameras would physically destroy the records too, if you care.
Which we might not even necessarily care. We just do a quick smash and grab. Like, who cares?
Again, they'll notice if the camera is gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is smash and grab in the sense of, like, we ignore the cameras. We just run through.
I mean, yeah, just head down, hand up, go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. I think I could probably summon us concealment, but I think that might be overkill and probably coming soon. So we might just, I think, cover our faces is probably the best idea.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have the funds or the wherewithal to keep the cameras connected to the network. I don't think they're going to be like scrounging for clues and shit.
Then I'll come out of VR so I can cover my.
Okay. Milo wakes up. You're in a different place than you were, Milo. But you knew that already.
This is where I parked my car.
This is where I parked my body. All right.
Set you back down on the ground.
You cover up your faces
face.
physically,
Let's go.
dash across the lobby, and you can just duck under or over the tables. You can say what you do. Whatever feels better to your style. And Cressida, your rat, crawls up the back of your leg and hops back into your pocket.
Yeah, he does.
As you
Put
cross the
my sweater
building
over
lobby.
my head. I've got my little buddy.
As you're shuffling across the lobby, you glance up and notice little red lights on the camera start blinking faster as they are noticing movement in front of them. They start going. Doop, 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 doop.
I like it.
And you cross over the lobby. You make it to the far side where there's a hallway out of sight of cameras, and it's a nice polished tan-colored tile floor. And there's a bathroom. There is an elevator with an up button and no down button. And there is a doorway labeled stairwell.
Stairs.
Stairs.
There seems to be some amount of agreement about not fucking with elevators.
Choke point.
What was your we're in Cognito name? Echo. Do you see any signals coming from the stairwell?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll do a check.
I'm not jacked in no more, so I can't look yet.
Yeah, computer.
All right.
Can I do an astral perception check on the stairwell as well?
Yeah. You don't have to roll dice for the astral thing.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
No, Corey's good. For astral perception, you just switch the mode of your eyes and look around. For the matrix perception, he's scanning for networks and stuff, so I has to roll dice to see if he finds hidden devices and things. You're picking up no signals from anything on the stairwell or the next couple of floors above you. You're inside the building now, so there's like walls in the way, and it's harder to tell where the signals are. You can just tell roughly what direction they're in. You're picking up distant wireless signals that are within 100 meters, but up. I say 100 meters because that's like the standard wireless range for noticing things. You're picking up lots of signals that are far away up in the upper reaches of the building. There seems to be nothing near you in the lower floors except for out front where all the guards are. You're picking up no other wireless devices back here, not security devices and not any personal comm links. Astral perception, you kick it off. All of this inert, non-living matter around you kind of obscures your vision so that you can't see very much. You can't just directly see through the walls or anything, but glancing around in the lobby and the hallway and towards the stairwell, you're not picking up any auras. You're not picking up any astral barriers. You're not picking up any spells. You're not picking up any living beings that you had not previously seen. It seems like the coast is clear, at least in your immediate surroundings, but you can't automatically know what's on the next couple of floors because you can't see through the walls. Okay.
Let's go up.
All right. But if there were hidden astral things around here, this would have revealed them, and there don't appear to be. And you can stay in astral mode whenever you want to. It just means other astral beings might notice you more easily, so you can decide if it's on or off while you're walking around.
I'm gonna keep it on for now, at least for the first couple floors, until maybe we approach around 9, where I know that there might be stuff.
All right. You start walking upstairs. I don't know if anybody played Final Fantasy VII, but this is like classic game scene right here. There's a scene where you get to choose elevator or stairs, and if you choose stairs, it makes you literally run upstairs for like 15 minutes while the characters just have conversations about how tired they are. It like bypasses a bunch of combats, but it makes you sit through a ton of dialogue, and it's super tedious. Anyway,
I was not gonna. I don't want to risk elevator.
Yeah, it just reminded me of it. All right, so you start working your way up the stairwell. It's just a cold, concrete, silent stairwell. You see no one there. And at each floor, there is a marking listing the floor number with little slots to list what offices or businesses are at that floor, and they are all empty and blank. And you see floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, etc. So, you'll be quite winded, but you tell me where you want to go up to. Yeah. Do you want to just go up and see what the door appears like at any particular floor?
I mean, what was the? It was the 7th. What is it?
The first floor that's inside of the astral barrier will be the 8th.
So the 8th floor. Yeah. I mean, once we get close to that astral barrier,
yeah,
we'll probably slow down.
If Cressida is keeping the astral perception on, then when you cross to the 7th floor, on the 7th floor, there's a blank slate listing businesses that says that there's nothing at the 7th floor, and when you look up the stairwell, there's just a horizontal floating barrier that you're going to cross through. If you are in astral perception mode, you will like bump your spirit head on it and not be able to pass through it without fighting your way through it, but if you click off astral perception mode, you'll be able to walk through it with little more than a tingle that the other 3 probably won't even feel because they're not trained to.
But the barrier will alert that we're here?
Cressida will know that the answer is no by default. The barrier is not some sort of monitoring alarm spell. It is a barrier that prevents the passage of spirits, spells, or anybody in astral form who's flying around on the astral plane. It's to prevent scouting, casting spells in, or sending spirits in. But if she clicks into human mode, all of you can pass through it without even noticing it.
I will click back into human mode. Can I here summon us like a spirit for concealment that stays with us up to the 14th?
You'll want to cross through the barrier before doing that.
Okay.
Because the spirit will not be able to pass through the barrier without breaking the barrier, which could cause a ruckus. But yes, you could potentially step through the barrier and summon a spirit on the inside of it, in which case the spirit would be stuck on the inside and able to do whatever you want while it's in there. Let me check one thing on that real quick, but you can all discuss. You probably would stop and tell them that the astral barrier is right above your heads, and you can discuss what you want to do while I check something on the security front.
I might summon us a spirit of guardian that could give us concealment, so that if we encounter anything we're not expecting up there, at least we're obscured.
Okay, I mean, we don't exactly know what we're looking for, right? We're not looking. Are we looking for a computer file? Are we looking for a physical file? Do we have any idea?
Probably a computer, if I had to guess.
It can never be physical. In this new age, I swear, I was meant to live in the year 2000.
If we know what we're looking for and it's physical, I could also summon a spirit to help us search.
But if it's just on a computer...
I think if I remember correctly, it's not a physical object, it's a file that's located on a physical hard drive. And the only way to access it is to jack into that data area.
Okay. We don't have any idea which of these floors that physical
just that it's
will be on.
One of these. I don't know if we can
Can you look into the matrix
the
for
businesses?
Can you look into the matrix for like a
not
physical
connected to the
device?
matrix.
Alright. All I will say on the magic front is what your character would know, which is that if anyone actively searches on the astral plane for things, they will be making a sensing test, and that test will be easier the higher the force of any spells, spirits, or spellcasters that are on the astral plane. So, if anybody's actively watching, then having a more powerful spirit or spells active or things like that might make you easier to detect, but you've seen no evidence yet that anybody is. I'm just telling you because your character would be aware that it's a possibility.
Okay.
And, yeah. Also, you're pointing at that astral barrier up there, which to your astral eyes looks like this shimmery blue force field. Everybody else sees you pointing up a stairwell and clearly sees a motion sensor next to the 8th floor door that is blinking and active. You weren't worried about the motion sensors downstairs because the lobby was supposed to have activity in it. But a sensor could make a bunch of racket and send out signals wirelessly if it is set to alert to them. And you clearly see there's a motion sensor up ahead overlooking the door on the 8th floor that was not on any of the previous floors.
I would like to hack the sensor.
Okay. I won't require a matrix perception test to notice the icon for it because you've seen it with your own physical eyes, so you can kick into wireless matrix mode and just look for the icon knowing that it's there already. Mm-hmm. So you can do whatever hacking action you would like to try to get a mark on it, presumably, and then
Yep. We'll hack on the
disable
fly.
it from there. Okay. It's also possible to beat motion sensors with like physical sneakery. It's just difficult. You have to move very slowly and carefully, and it might be easiest for like Kelsey.
Oh, I got 8 hits.
Nice. I don't know what your limit is on that test, though. It probably makes it less than 8 because the limit will be your. But yeah, you've got marks on it, regardless. So what action would you like to do to it? Let's see.
I guess. Can I crash the detection program or something?
Yeah. I think you can, like... Let's see. I'm trying to think the proper way to do this. You want to,
Can
like...
you adjust, like, the sensitivity rating? You know? Like, to where it's not, like, a standard sensitivity, but it would have to be, like, a crazy amount for it to register. So we'd still be technically on camera, but it wouldn't register, like, any kind of alert because we're not flailing flags or some shit.
I don't know if there's a matrix action that corresponds to that.
It would require spoofing an action from a device that is set to control it, which would require having access to a device that can do that.
I can think of crashing the program that runs the detection loop. I can think of formatting the device and then rebooting it.
Yeah. This will be... I'm just looking. You're trying to, like, crash out the icon. Crash program. Yeah. Cyber combat plus logic against the... against the firewall rating of the thing. You can go ahead and do that. Limited by mental. You got 1 hit. Well, it may or may not work.
Yeah, that's strong.
Alright. I'll make a roll for its resistance. It's got a 4-die pool. If it gets any successes, then it's gonna fail.
Wish me luck. Wow!
Triple successes. Okay. Not only did you fail to crash it, you generated a bunch of noise on the matrix that could bring attention in your direction. This is the first hacking action you've taken, so it's going to set your Overwatch score to a starting value of, I believe 6 or something. But it's not going to draw attention from the broader matrix yet, but in order to clear your noise, you're going to have to probably disconnect and lose your marks on this at some point soon. But that action alone will not be enough to risk being spotted. So you can straight up attempt it again if you want to.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I can always try and give it a shot if you don't want to. I don't know if it would be any better or worse.
Yeah, I might, let's see.
While he's trying this, Kelsey is just very slowly making her way towards the camera.
Stop it.
Nope.
Trigger the motion sensor.
I'm gonna move slowly.
All right,
Towards the
go
motion
ahead and
sensor.
make a sneaking test.
Like,
Oh, I was just about to roll.
roll first. I'm moving slow motion.
Bro, I'm cooked.
He fails again. You're creeping towards it. The little red light on it is blinking at the same rate. Go ahead and make a roll for sneakery. 5 hits. That is sufficient. You slowly start creeping forwards until you're well within the line of sight of the thing. Just moving snail pace, barely breathing. You make your way all the way to the door, and it doesn't seem to have reacted or tripped an alarm in any way. It takes you a solid 2 minutes to go up 1/2 flight of stairs. Everybody holding their breath and watching, and you are now up against the door and just out of the sight angle of the motion sensor, which is pointed at the staircase.
Can I use control device instead?
Maybe. Let's see.
Because that's actually in like the block of skills I have points in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I lied. Is that any better? What the hell? What the
Okay.
hell?
Kelsey, you're up against the 8th floor door. It has a magnetic lock that expects a key card, and it is lit up green like it is unlocked.
I'm gonna like whisper, shout down to
Oh,
them.
yeah, okay.
What's going on? Can I go? Where is like the camera? Is it like on the actual like physical stairwell? Is it like mounted
The motion
to the
sensor
wall?
is mounted high up on the wall, pointing down at the stairs. Now you're under its angle and up against the door. The door has a magnetic lock for keycard access, and it is lit up green like it is already unlocked.
Would it be? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, I was just gonna ask if I could try and crash the program on the.
Yeah, also, I'll try control device if I'm allowed to do that.
I'm going to do Kelsey first because she's standing at the door and trying to whisper something down to you all.
If I just slowly put my hand over the camera lens, can you just come up the stairs?
Let's not risk that.
What? You just want to keep standing down there, failing to control the camera?
I haven't tried, first off. Second, it was amazing you managed to not trip the motion sensor.
It's
Nico,
really
having attempted
not,
twice to access
Ryan.
this thing in the Matrix
Yeah,
and having it not work, you will have noticed by now also that, like the security devices in the front lobby, this thing is only local and it has a speaker built into it. It's probably going to make a shit ton of noise if it's triggered, but is currently not networked to anything else. So if it was physically damaged, then it would not make a sound, probably.
Do you want me
You're not
just
kinda
rip it out
So
of
that's
the wall?
another option.
Can you rip it out with completely destroying it? I'm sorry, question, Josh. Are these things like battery powered? Are they like wired in? Like if
It's
she
connected
rips
to
it
a
out of the
local
wall-
power source. She could
so if
rip
she
it out
rips
of the
it
wall.
out of the wall entirely, it wouldn't make a noise.
Unless it has a backup battery on board. It's also about the size of like a tennis ball. She could probably grab it in her hand and smash it on the ground if she stands on her tiptoes and rips it off of the wall. If she did it quickly, then even if it made a sound...
Well, I'll pull on one of my brass knuckles on one hand, and I'll reach my hand up and be like, I'm just gonna rip it out of the wall and then smash it in my hand unless there's any hard no's. The count of 3. 1,
Do it, Kelsey.
2, and I'm just gonna rip it on 2. And it's like I'm gonna do my best to just rip it out of the wall and then smash it into pieces in my hands.
All right. What's your strength?
7.
I'm not going to require a roll for this. You rip the thing off of the wall and just smash it against your knuckles, and it lets out like a half chirp, and then you smash it again and again and again, and then it lets out a low like, and then you hit it one more time, and sparks come out of it, and it doesn't make any sounds. Your knuckles are a little dusted up from the shrapnel, but yeah, you've smashed the hell out of the thing.
I'm gonna stick it in my pockets, slide my brass knuckles back down, and lean over the side and be like, good to come up now.
Golf clap.
It looks like there's no equivalent motion sensor on the next floor up. There was just one at this point for whatever reason.
What's the sign for the business here?
Yeah, there's a sign on the wall that is labeled Delphi Data Solutions Office Suite A, 8th floor.
So we're probably looking for servers, not office, I would assume. Let's look up what the other floors say.
Yeah.
Punch any other motion sensors if you see them, assuming they're not connected to a network.
I'll wait for the green light, but also maybe less yellow lights, more green lights.
I'm really glad you successfully snuck past that.
I had a dice pool of 8.
And you know what? I sometimes roll 11 dice in Forbidden Lands and don't roll a single 6. So don't say that like 8 dice means something.
That's fair. That's fair. But that's Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands is mean and terrible to us sometimes.
All right.
I'll quietly, like, hustle up the rest of the flights of stairs, like, looking for, like, cameras to
Okay.
see, like, are there people, are there cameras?
Next
anything
flight
we
of
need to be
stairs
aware
up,
of?
you don't see any cameras or people, and there's a sign at the 9th floor landing that says Delphi Data Solutions Office Suite B, 9th floor.
Head back down. Tell them what I
And
saw.
that one has another mag lock on it, and that one is red. Like it requires keycard access.
What about floor 10, floor 11, floor 12?
Okay, I'll go back and, like, double time the stairs.
All right. One sec.
I'm assuming we're looking for servers or storage or computers or, like, not some, like, office grunt setup.
It's fair. Part of my brain is like, well, I mean, we can't really trust, like, what these things say could be, like, intentionally misleading. And the
Alright.
other part of me is like,
But
Floor 10
but
also has a red mag lock that requires keycard access, and it is labeled Delphi Data Solutions. And it says Office Suite C / Security Suite. And that's it.
Nothing on floor 12.
Floor 11 also has a red locked mag stripe reader that says Delphi Data Solutions Corporate Suite. You're muted, Allison. I see you talking, but I don't hear you.
I would like to know if my lockpick can lockpick a card reader.
No.
Got
Are
it.
they,
Just checking.
I assume they're not connected to the Matrix.
Mechanical locks.
Yeah.
And these are magnetic locks with card readers, so no. Wrong type of lock. Some things will have mechanical
So,
locks. They will
30
usually
seconds.
be on chain link fences and things like that, not on corporate office suites, probably.
Are these mag locks hackable?
Oh, they sure might be.
Yeah,
My other question is, was the 10th or 11th, whatever the floor she just checked, was that the last floor?
That was the 11th floor. Past that is the 12th floor, which is just labeled roof access, and it does not have any kind of lock on the door.
So I could have gone in through the roof. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, you could have.
And Cressida or you.
Um,
Maybe both.
I mean, should we just go into Office Suite C/security?
I feel like that'll probably have the most people.
It might be where the information is. I mean, we could go into the unlocked place and I guess jack in there and maybe see if...
And we can try to hack the locks that are here.
Yeah.
I mean, probably starting with the floor under the security one. I'm not sure I want to dive directly into the security office.
Well, we might be able to get access to the upper floors if we go into the one that's unlocked and access a computer. Maybe we can get some kind of security access by hacking those computers. I don't know.
What I
The
know
gamer in me wants to assume it's not going to be in the one that's unlocked.
I feel you. What I know anyway, I mean, you guys can absolutely try to hack the maglock. Another way to, like, get past a maglock, just with a specialization in, like, security design and security tactics.
I only half registered your question because I was looking up the answer to the previous question. But, let's see. Getting past these magnetic locks on the doors will require physically opening the case and rewiring circuits and messing with the internals, which is a locksmith plus agility physical extended test. So it's going to use the locksmith skill. The lockpicks might actually apply a benefit to that skill since you're messing with the physical internals without tripping things and whatnot. So I'll have to check what the lockpicks do. I think those might... no, those are for mechanical locks. But it is the locksmith skill, which is agility-based, which is used to bypass these type of readers and get the door open. You're physically taking them apart and messing with the hardware to try to get the door open without having to use the security code to get through.
I mean, I've got a pool of 8 under locksmith if you guys want me to try.
I'd rather try and hack it first, if anything.
Okay.
But do we want to snoop on the floor that's already unlocked first?
We can, yeah.
The digital way to get through these without having the proper encrypted codes, which are on the physical cards, is by using magnetic passkeys, which are it's a piece of gear that you use to fake the thing out.
Which is something we probably don't
Which
have.
is something you probably don't have unless anybody took that on their gear. There's not a listed hacking way to get past these things because they're just looking for an encrypted code that they don't have, or that you don't have access to.
Let's go to the first floor, and maybe while me and Nico look at the computers, you two can maybe see if you can find a key card to the upper floors.
First floor meaning the 8th floor that is unlocked?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
If they're leaving key cards around on the 8th
I mean,
floor,
the place is shutting down. Like, clearly, if they're not all having cake on the security floor right now, then I'll eat my own cyber deck.
please don't eat another cyber deck.
Another one? What do you mean another one?
Let's go into the unlocked room. I'm gonna press my ear to it first. Do I hear, or can y'all look? Are there any security guards on this floor?
My brain was assuming there was like a tiny little window on the side of the door. You know how like you see those like doors in the stairwells or whatever? I was already assuming that.
Like the rectangular ones?
Yeah, it's like a rectangular, long rectangular window.
I was thinking of like a parking deck, like solid doors on like winding staircases.
Yeah.
Josh didn't describe the
You
stairwell.
didn't describe it very well. The doors could be anything.
I am placing everybody on the map over here. In this tight little stairwell, there's a door in front of you. Don't click on it because your characters have not unlocked it. I don't have it marked as locked up here, so it'll open if you click it, but just don't click it. Anyway, you are standing in front of the door. Who wants to access the door?
The door's
Chelsea wants to
unlocked.
listen in at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the door is unlocked. So who wants to open it?
We'll open the door.
Okay. Echo, you can click the door to open it.
Behold.
You are looking out into a lobby. There are 2 office doors opposite you, adjacent to each other, that are shut with no visible windows. There's 2 external windows to the building to your south. To the north, you're looking into some sort of reception lobby to what appears to be an office area. You can see the outer wall of the building where there's that blue line. That is an exterior window to the building over there. And you are... and you can see just the edge of a sort of reception desk peeking out, and no visible people here within your line of sight.
Can I see anything in augmented reality?
Make a matrix perception test.
2.
There's a wireless comlink signal from an active, not hidden comlink at the reception desk. You're pretty sure there's somebody sitting there actively using a comlink right to your right, just outside of this door. Probably at that front desk. There's an icon floating there to like a personal comlink. There's somebody just sitting there chilling out, surfing on their phone.
Okay, well, I'll inform the team what I see. What do you guys want to try to do about this person?
Not really anything. We don't know if there will be anything on here, and we're trying to avoid detection for now.
You hear a distant kind of like squeaking sound, like metal wheels, and then like a bong, like somebody dropping a heavy box or something, kind of echoing from somewhere up around the corner, and you just hear like low talking. You hear somebody off in the distance go, "Yeah, in a minute." All right. There's just like idle chatter of workers happening in here. There's people here doing stuff, TLDR. And somebody is sitting at that front reception desk.
Perhaps we could also be people doing stuff.
Yeah, we could just walk in and act like we belong there.
I can conceal us, but again, it depends if this is really kind of probably where we want to be.
Yeah, the concealment thing is able to conceal. I think the number of people it can conceal simultaneously is based on the power of the spirit or whatever. It's easier for it to do one person or 2 people while they're sneaking around than to cover the whole party. Although it could be done with a strong enough spirit.
Okay.
It could be done, but it'll be harder the more people you want to conceal simultaneously. It might be a better thing to attach to like if you want Amy to sneak up ahead and do some things undetected, since she's probably the sneakiest one, then you send a spirit with her to help conceal her, and it'll give her a big dice bonus. But to do the whole party is probably going to be difficult.
Okay.
Not that it can't be done. It's just more difficult because it'll require a very strong spirit.
Right.
I don't think that anyone is going to be at the reception desks of the doors that are locked. And if we're only coming here just to get an idea, since we now know there are people here, I say we close the door and move to the next floor.
We don't know if the information we need is not on this floor.
Yeah, but we do know there's a threat on this floor, and we don't know if there's one on the other floors.
We can go check, but I don't think we're gonna get any better luck.
You don't think there will be people, like, not at rooms that are locked?
Why wouldn't there be?
Why would there be a security guard in a room that's locked?
I mean, we could have taken the elevator to the floor. We're taking the stairwell. The stairwell's just locked.
I mean, it's possible that the elevator would have required a key code to go to those floors. So
Maybe. I mean, we're all speculating here.
I
If
say
you
we
want to,
just-
like, right now, it's no harm to go to that floor to try and
Just to
break
check.
in.
Just to see what's
Right.
there.
See what's there.
But if we
I mean,
fail
how are we going to
break
break in if we don't have the magnetic key card thing?
We don't need a key card. I can try and like break the lock myself.
But if
Oh,
you
the
break the
long
lock entirely, then we definitely can't get in, is my only concern.
If we raise a ruckus with the two people,
I'm not saying my plan's flawless. I'm just saying if you break the lock, there's definitely no way we're getting into that floor.
It is a
Except
locksmithing
for the
test to bypass the door maglock by getting it to open and let you through. To physically break through by brute force is something you could do by physically breaking the door. The downside to that is it makes a ton of noise.
I'm not talking about breaking the door. I'm talking about locksmithing it.
Yeah.
But if you locksmith it, aren't you disassembling the thing to break through?
To cause it to open without having to trigger the
Yeah.
lock.
And if you
So the
fail,
lock thinks that it's locked and
what I
is
guess you
open.
would reassemble it.
Just reassemble it. Try again.
to
It's
stop
not like I'm
anyone from
under a
knowing that
time
you were
clock.
there.
Yeah.
Well, also just if she fails, we have to get a key card to get through. I mean, go ahead and try. I mean,
if she fails, we need a key card. That's the kind of the counterfactual, anyway. So we have to go ahead and.
you're
get a key
right. I
card.
just didn't know if she fails, if we could still use a key card.
I gotcha. Yeah. Well, at that point, just break the door down. Fuck it.
She's disassembling the lock itself to try and spoof it.
Yeah, we could do that. We could try to scam these workers. What do you guys want to do? Try to take them hostage.
I
number of options.
would rather try and get through the locked door first before starting to take hostages.
Probably
I think
fair.
we should go through the door.
Yeah, let's do the door.
All right. So we close that door, go up a floor, and try the 9th floor maglock. So this will be a locksmithing attempt.
Does anyone other than me have locksmithing?
No. Not very high.
What's your pool?
One sec. I think it'll be like 4 or 3.
It'll be a locksmith plus agility test, limited by your physical.
Yeah, my agility's like 4,
attribute.
so it's no, so it'll be 3 because I'll be defaulting.
Does anybody have at least 1 point in locksmithing?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you probably win.
Okay. Then I'll roll for it.
Okay. Go ahead and make the roll. It might take multiple rolls to accumulate enough successes to bypass it, but each roll takes 1 combat turn, and you're not in combat, so you've got time to work with it.
That's 4.
That is pretty good. Hold on. It's 4 successes. This is a rating. Let me see how good of a lock this is. You're 80% of the way to cracking this. If you don't get any glitches or anything, which is over half of your dice pool being 1s, then you are on your way to getting this thing open. You have it partially open. It's an extended test requiring multiple rolls over which you accumulate its successes, and you're like 80% of the way there. So if you make another roll
Another 4 successes.
and you got like no 1s, yeah, you straight up crack the lock. You manage to open the thing up, redo the wiring, and you solder this to this, click it, and the mag lock opens and the door creaks open slightly because the latch has been opened, but the thing still reads red like it's waiting for a keycard to access it. You've gotten through the door while keeping the door thinking that it is locked shut.
So either one of you want to check and see, like, matrixy wise, if there's someone on the other side of this?
Sure.
Door's open though.
This is 9th floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a map for this location, so I'm just going to narrate it. But I'm assuming you're all standing in the stairwell. So this is Office Suite B, 9th floor. Just checking. Okay. All right. Yeah. You open the door, and what are you doing? You're looking out into a quiet, dark, the lights are off here. Dark 9th floor office suite.
Perfect.
And
Let's look for a solid computer to jack into. If it's dark, there's no one in here. So,
Are there security cameras inside?
yes.
motion
Cameras,
sensors?
not motion sensors. There are cameras.
But it's dark. We should be fine. And I'll slowly creep the rest of the way in. I'll look around. I'll just
Okay.
wave everybody in. If I close the door, is it gonna like relock it?
No, it's disabled. You can
Cool.
You can
Then
get
I'm
in
gonna
and out
fully
at will.
close it, so
Okay.
it'll appear to be locked,
Okay.
but won't be.
All right. Yeah. There are security cameras in the main lobby. This is a very similar layout to the floor before that you were on. The entrance area looks the same. There's just no people here, and the lights are off.
Perfect.
You have free reign except for cameras being in places. What would you
I
like to
just
do,
want
Amy?
to find. I want to follow. If she let us in, I want to look for a computer to jack into.
Okay. Make a sneaking test against the cameras, unless you don't care. It's up to you.
Is there any advantages because it's dark in the room? Do we get any pluses?
Yes. Well, it's a penalty to the cameras.
Okay.
You're trying to move across the room without making noise and staying out of their arc.
I got one.
1 success. 3 success.
I had a limit of 2.
The darkness is gonna knock these cheap security cameras down to a very small dice pool. They got 1 success.
What happens
Milo.
with the tie?
Are you... I need to check something without asking you. 'Cause it'll
We're about to
spoil things.
find out.
Okay. Milo.
Yes.
As the two of you are creeping along, one of the security cameras starts to blink and goes boop, 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 and points in your direction and locks onto you. You move a little bit and it moves. You move a little bit and it moves. And it's just going boop, 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 and blinking.
Can I?
It seems to
try
have
and-
picked up on something.
Can I try and hack into it and spoof the command to think that it's not looking at something? I don't know if that's a spoof command thing.
You want to hop into your cyberjack and
Yeah.
try to put a mark on it? All right. Go ahead and hack on the fly to try to put a mark on it. It's going to continue staring at you and beeping for the time that it takes you to do these hacking actions. Other people, are you doing anything? It's gonna take a little bit of time for him to try to hack this thing to figure out what's going on with it and try to do something to it. What are the rest of you doing?
I can try to summon concealment for Milo, if that'll keep him from getting picked up.
He's been picked up already. It could have
Okay,
given him extra dice on the stealth roll if he had concealment before, but the camera's locked onto him now.
Got
If
it.
he wants to get out of sight and then try to sneak past it fresh, then it could potentially help.
I mean,
But he
if
has
anything,
been
I'm trying to,
spotted,
like, if I've been spotted,
Yeah.
I know which camera's looking at me, right?
Yeah.
And there's no like partition or wall or something I can duck behind real quick so it's not looking at me while I hack in.
You have put marks on the camera. You can now try to do some matrix action to it.
Can I tell, as it sits at smart, can I tell if it's going to a live feed or if it's just recording?
It is now emitting a wireless message into the larger environment. You don't know who's listening or where, but it is now sending out a wireless signal that it has detected something that is on its algorithm to look out for.
If I summoned a spirit for confusion, would it kind of obstruct the message that's getting sent out?
Not from the camera. Only for living
Okay.
things.
Can we jam signals?
Cool. Can I do something? I've marked it. Can I do anything to?
You could
change
jam the signals, you could
signal?
physically damage the camera, you could spoof a command to tell it to stop detecting things, but as it stands, it has been tripped off to something that it has noticed, and it has sent a signal out. So, to some extent, the cat is out of the bag on whatever that camera signal said. You can't unsend the signal.
Can I send another signal that says it detected the wrong thing? Or is it just going to send my image data and that's what gets received?
You can have it send a different signal, but if it sees something that it's not supposed to and then that thing goes out of sight, that's still going to be just as suspicious to whoever's listening to the feed.
Could you, like, make it see, like, a bird or a rat that maybe got in?
I mean, it already saw him.
Yeah, it's sending visual data. We're saying that it's sending commands, but it's sending the visual data because it saw me.
The camera saw something that's on its algorithm to keep an eye out for and sent out a message saying that it saw that thing. To the broader wireless area, up to 100 meters in any direction. So anyone anywhere that is on its contact list could have received the signal.
All right, I have a mark on it. Can I find out where the signal was sent?
I mean, the signal was sent out everywhere to be received by whoever's listening for it, but you can...
Yeah,
I guess
that's what I'm
broadcast,
wondering.
It's a broadcast, not a point-to-point.
Yeah.
So
It
it
sent
could
out a
go
broadcast to
1,000
100
people.
meters to anybody that is on its frequency to listen for it, which could be anyone anywhere, potentially. You could access a history to try to figure out what went out.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Let's see. Matrix action.
I rolled a lot of dice, and I can't believe I couldn't roll 2 6s.
It's always when you need them the most.
Yeah.
It's because a spirit wasn't concealing you, let's be real.
You should have just
One extra
lied on
dice would have
precedent.
been the 6.
Alright. Matrix actions. There we go. This is, I saw this earlier. Jams hack out, Jack flies over my archive, full Matrix defense. Matrix perception.
The other thing was set data
Snoop.
bomb.
You're intercepting. This is a Snoop action, so it's electronic
Yeah.
warfare plus intuition.
Okay, quick question before I roll that. There's the set data bomb, which lets me delete a file. Would I have to snoop to figure out what got sent and then set a data bomb? Or I can't do that because I would have to delete a file on every device within 100 meters.
A data bomb is to protect a file so that if somebody tries to access that file, it gets deleted. It's like to protect a file so that if somebody unauthorized tries to get to it, it'll get
Okay.
blown up. You could potentially
Got it,
data
got it,
bomb
got
the like camera feed so that if somebody goes into it to try to retrieve what it recorded, that it would get deleted. But that's
But
separate from finding
not
out
the-
what
not the
signal just
alert.
got sent out.
Okay, then I will do the snoop.
Okay. Do a Snoop action. It's electronic warfare plus intuition. It's limited by your sleaze attribute on your thing.
My sleeves is probably 2.
It's okay. You got the successes that you need. Logic plus firewall. It's just firewall. Oh. Actually, I don't know if you got what you need. Let me roll the dice. Two. You've matched.
Usually in dating apps, this is a good thing. but
You
I'm
failed, which has
thinking-
created matrix noise, raising your Overwatch score, but it is continuing to broadcast the same signal over and over, so you can try again if you want to create more noise.
Am I still in the site? Have I not like tried to move back into the stairwell while I'm holding my
Yeah, you can do all that.
Or under a desk.
or something?
It's
Yeah,
still
I mean,
broadcasting the same signal out, even after you leave
Okay.
its field.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Then yeah.
So you can attempt it again. It'll make a little more matrix noise.
Well, my max is 3, and this thing rolled. Okay, it rolled 4 dice, so it just rolled really well.
Is there a physical computer in this room that I've noticed?
No. No, there's not.
Well, as Milo is like in the Matrix, I'm gonna pick him up and carry him out into the stairwell and just.
All right. You carry him out into the stairwell, stick him down. Milo, you managed to pick up the signal that time, creating a little bit more matrix noise because every success on the resistance test is making more. You're worried that you might have to disconnect and lose all of your marks to clear your flak pretty soon, but you don't know exactly when. You've picked up the signal that's being broadcast out. It's being broadcast out to a certain coded channel so that anybody with a comm link sent to listen to it can be picking it up within 100 meters. And the coded signal is that it has detected an unauthorized weapon.
Unauthorized weapon.
It spotted a pistol on your hip that is not of the brand and type that the security guards are set to use. And it recognized it and broadcast out that someone should come investigate because an unauthorized weapon has been brought into one of the office floors. And it's broadcasting that over and over and over while waiting for a response that has not come.
All right, then I want to intercept it or stop it or something.
You want to stop it from sending the signal? It's already broadcasted out. So if somebody's receiving it, they might have received it and you would have no way of knowing.
Right, but you said it's constantly broadcasting it over and over and over.
It is, because it's been tripped and nobody has accessed it to reset it and tell it to go back to its controller state.
I want to reset it or whatever.
Okay.
I want to try turning it off and back on again.
Reboot device.
Will that do it?
Mm-hmm.
that
requires 3 marks. It'll require getting additional marks on it. So you'll have to do another...
How many marks do I have on it?
How many successes did you get on that hack on the fly that you did on it?
7.
Oh, you got 3 marks off of that because you beat it by more than 3. Okay, then yeah, you have total access to this thing. You can just reboot the device and set it back to its default settings if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
I'll do that, and then I'm gonna log off and lose my marks.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do that action. It's a complex action, computer plus logic. Versus this thing's attributes.
Logic. Wow. 12 dice and I rolled 1. I don't get any bonuses from having 3 marks on it.
No. 3 marks let you attempt the action in the first place.
Let me do it. And it got 2.
2 successes. You've created 4 more points of Overwatch score on the Matrix and have not successfully reset it. It's still broadcasting the signal. Do you want to attempt it again?
Yeah.
Totally should.
Alright.
Amy gave me permission. That's all I need.
If your Overwatch hits the threshold of being too high, you're going to get immediately dump shocked out.
I just hit the Overwatch score, but I'm gonna do it and then shut off. I already declared it. I do declare. We're not.
1 success.
We're not counting.
All right. You've rebooted the camera. It stops beeping and it stops broadcasting. But if anybody received the signal, then it won't undo the fact that they received the signal.
That's fine. Yeah.
So somebody might come to investigate at some point.
All right.
Well, the door appears locked from the outside.
All right.
Well, let's go up to the next level.
I mean, keep an ear out for security on the 11th floor.
Yeah.
Are we going to corporate suite or are we going to the security level?
The 10th. We go to the next one up.
The 10th floor is the
10th floor is the security level. 11th is corporate suite. Which one do you want to go to?
Let's go to corporate.
Let's go to corporate suite. You're right. And that one's maglocked as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fresh mag
I
lock.
will
Do the locksmith again.
pull out my stuff and get back to it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not used to what my character looks like, so every time I have to like pull it up, I'm like, where are you, boss? Oof, only one success that time.
But not a glitch. That's progress, and you get to keep reattempting, so go ahead. You get a glitch or something, you might accidentally break it, or not be able to access it, or trip something. 3 more successes, still not there, but you can make another roll. Nice. Alright, no glitches on all 3 rolls. You've accumulated enough successes, you've bypassed another maglock.
During that time that she was doing that, we haven't heard any activity in the stairwell.
No.
Okay.
Slowly open it and see what we're working with.
Are there any cameras in there?
This is a cushier looking level. There's fake potted plants and a smooth polished tile floor with some some archways made to look gilded and expensive that are probably just cheap and painted that way. Up ahead, you see heavy mahogany doors leading to some sort of office, big double doors. You see restrooms, you see the elevator, and there's also 2 unmarked doors off to the east that look more utilitarian in nature rather
Lights
than
on, lights
being
off.
cushy looking. And it is dark here.
Cameras?
Yes. There are cameras just like the ones downstairs. They're arrayed in such a way that if you exit this stairwell area and walk out towards the offices or any of the other doors, you would be going under their purview. So
Can
you
I
could
just
stealth
light
to
up
try to
this-
get around them without them seeing you, or you could try to mess with them in some way.
Should I just set my device to jam signals?
Yeah, probably. Well,
Is that it?
we didn't hear anyone coming from the security floor down to the other. That makes me think that they're either not checking it.
Or they're worried about everything that's going on outside right now?
Yeah. Either way, Orion, please move your gun to the waistband of your pants under your shirt.
Okay, I will do that. I don't think that's the reason I got caught.
You all hear the elevator moving. Because it is on the opposite side of the wall from the stairwell right next to it, you hear...
Is there a number above the elevator?
You can't see the elevator from where you are. You just hear the
You just hear
vibrations
it.
because it's through the wall. You could step out into this lobby area and look at the elevator
Nope.
to see what floor it's on. But you hear the elevator moving, and it sounds like it stopped on a floor near you. You're not sure which one.
But not this one.
You're not sure. You can't tell exactly where it is. All you can tell is the elevator was moving and stopped somewhere near you.
Can I not peek my head further into the doorway and see the elevator from where we are?
You can, if you make a stealth check against the cameras.
Before we do that, if I try and hack back in now, is my Overwatch score reset, or does it take time to reset?
Do what?
Like if I wanted to try and disable the cameras again,
Mm-hmm.
is my Overwatch score reset because I disconnected?
Yeah, it just makes you lose all your marks and have to take a minute rebooting.
Okay. Then either I or Echo should try and disable the cameras.
I need a test from Cressida. I need you to roll your sensing skill. You're muted.
Sorry, it's coming. Sorry, it's coming. Wait, David, where did my thing go? It's coming. Sorry. Sorry, what kind of roll do you need?
A sensing.
A sensing, okay.
Good lord, you get a lot of dice. No glitch, 4 hits. Yep. You feel a tingle down your spine like a spirit has moved directly through you. Somebody astrally knows you're here. Probably the spirit that was outside just flew through you.
Okay, so would there be any benefit to me kind of going into astral vision to check, or I kind of just know that already?
It would pop you fully into astral mode, and you and the spirit would probably see each other eye to eye.
Are you about to go
It would
fight
make
a
you.
spirit?
It would make you susceptible to astral combat. It might give you an opportunity to do something to the spirit before it goes elsewhere and reports something, but it would also wrap you into an astral fight. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll do it.
You do it?
I'll do it.
Alright. So
I'll
Cressida
pick up her
stops.
physical body like a backpack.
Cressida stops mid-step while everybody else is
Okay,
discussing
yeah.
things. Do you say anything to the group before doing this, or do you just silently flip over and do
I'm
it?
going ghost.
Jump on
Yeah,
my
I
back
say,
like a backpack.
Kelsey, if I can't walk, carry me out like a backpack. That's what
All
I
right.
say.
Cressida says that, then looks around like she sees something that you don't, and her eyes just flash blue. Cressida, you're in the stairwell, and a spirit stops in its tracks, turns around, and just makes direct eye contact with you. There is an air spirit here. It looks like the one that you saw outside. Judging from its size and general build and the strength of its aura in the astral plane, you would venture that this is maybe around like a Force 3 spirit, which is not the scariest. It's probably it's not the weakest spirit you've ever seen, but it's not one that's just going to obliterate your whole astral existence easily either. You think you might be able to tangle with this thing if the dice are kind and stop it from going anywhere. It is staring you down and sizing you up and looking you up and down like it's studying you. If you want to try to just straight up destroy this thing in the astral plane so that it can't report anything back to whoever sent it, or try to dismiss it from existence by severing its link to whoever summoned it, you can try to do either of those things. I will say that dismissing spirits can cause a large amount of backlash in a small number of dice rolls, so if the dice are particularly cruel, it might knock you out, but it would be the cleanest way to just get rid of it, or you could just brawl with the thing, in which case you're more likely to take damage, but maybe not as much.
Can I summon a guardian spirit to assist me in this?
The types of spirits you can summon are air, earth, fire, man, and wherever that list was that I sent you. Is guardian spirit a thing from one of the expansion books, or?
No, I think it's let me see
Air,
what
earth,
it
fire,
is.
water, man are the types that you could summon.
Okay. Can I summon
If you want to summon one of those.
Yeah, okay, so can I summon my own air spirit to assist in this combat?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright. So, let's get the air spirit figured out. Spirits of air. Astral combat skill. Yep. What force of air spirit would you like to try to summon? This one that you're up against is like Force 3. If you want to have a die roll combat, you can summon a Force 3, or like a coin flip combat, you can summon a Force 3 and send this thing brawling with the other one. Or if you want to try to summon a bigger one that can easily defeat this, then you might want to go up to 5 or 6 or 7, but that'll be more difficult on your summoning roll and could cause you some stun damage, which could
Let me try
make you
5.
fatigued. All right. So you're summoning a Force 5 air spirit. Go ahead and roll a summoning roll. See how many successes you get. And then I am going to roll for the spirit to see how much it fights back against you. Summoning. You didn't get a glitch. You got 3 successes. Alright, this is going to be close. It's versus the spirit's force. All right. It's going to get 5 dice. Here it goes. It got 2. You get exactly 1 task out of it. This spirit is sizing you up. You turn your shoulder to it and just conjure your own air spirit that's bigger than it. And when it pops up, there's going to be an initiative roll, but I'm not going to bother with it. Well, actually, I will. I'll put just you on it. The rest of your party's not going to be able to participate in this because they are...
Muggles.
Muggles, yeah. But I'm going to roll you into the initiative and the spirits, so 1 sec.
It just gets really windy in the stairwell for a minute. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I would normally be looking to wrap now, but I'm going to let it run a little longer since we got going a little late, if everybody's good to play this out a little more.
Yeah.
Gil, do you remember that scene from Critical Role where Ford summons the greater demon? It has like
Yeah.
So this is reminded me of. He's like, you summon a spirit that's way bigger. Immediately, my brain was like,
I just imagine like Kelsey's just not Kelsey. Crescent is just like sort of standing there, and we're all like, "What's going on? Like, why is it weird?" And it's like a breeze blows by. It's like, oh, like, what's going on? Like, you hear noise at the elevator. Like, we all focus attention. Meanwhile, it cuts to the spirit realm, and she's just like, ah!
So 2 + 4 + 3d6. Okay, 1 sec. I'm just I'm rolling some dice. I'll explain what they're doing in a second.
Spirits of wind and gale, I summon you on my behalf to destroy this being.
This is for the enemy spirit. I'm just figuring out who's going first, mostly. I don't even have a way to put the spirits on the combat tracker easily, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Oh, Astral Initiative. There we go. 3d6. All right. The enemy spirit is on initiative 13, 14, 19. Your spirit is on initiative. Ooh, 18. Your spirit has a higher initiative value, but rolled a lot worse. The enemy spirit's going to go first and try to attack your spirit. Then your spirit's going to get to go, and then you'll have the opportunity to pile in and attack this thing in astral combat if you want to. It's going to just try to get the jump and attack your spirit as soon as it sees it pop up. So it's going to roll its astral combat skill here. Three, 6, 2 hits against yours. 5 hits. All right. It attacks your larger spirit and just like tears into it and just bounces off of it. The two of them are tangling, and you can tell that your spirit is not concerned about this at all. And then your spirit's going to attack it back since it gets the next turn. Oh wow, that's a really bad roll though. Against it. 1 hit each. They fail to affect each other, and you can tell the big spirit is about to try to flee. Probably to report back. It's like turning to move away and flying towards the window, so you have 1 opportunity to jump on this thing yourself with astral combat if you want to try to...
yeah, let me try to astral combat it.
You can either try to astral combat, in which case if you beat it by a lot and do a lot of damage, you might be able to disperse it entirely, but odds are you'll just damage it. If you have a narrow window, then the best odds you have of getting rid of it might be to try to banish it by severing its connection, because that happens in a single die roll if it succeeds. It's just a higher risk of you taking more stun damage from the thing backlashing against you. So it's up to you.
Do you want to try to banish it?
Okay.
I'll carry you.
Banishing is going to have a higher chance of success.
I've made an arrangement.
Since the thing is fleeing and you don't have a lot of time. That's your best odds of getting rid of it. It's just the riskiest in terms of the backlash you might take. So you make a banishing roll.
That looks banished.
That's 3 net hits. It is going to roll 6 dice to resist. Two. All right. that. All right, here's what's going to happen. You come up behind the spirit and banish it, severing its link to its master. It gets 2 successes on the roll against you, which is going to deal 4 points of drain damage to you, which you get to now make a roll to reduce by resisting it with like your willpower and stuff. I've got to check what it is that you roll to reduce the damage. You have successfully banished the spirit, and it just disperses into the astral and fades away with just a screeching echo that only you can hear. You've successfully gotten rid of the spirit so that it can't report back to whoever sent it, but you are going to take some damage in the process. Resisting drain is... if the spirit's force is greater than your magic rating, the drain is physical, otherwise it's stun damage. Okay, so this can't kill you, but it can fatigue you. And let's see. I just need to check what you roll to resist drain. Drain. It's hard to search this because it comes up so often, but I don't know where the thing is where it actually says what you roll to resist. Resisting drain. Alright, oh, I remember. One sec. What you roll is based on... Okay, it's logic and willpower to resist drain. So, I don't know if there's a built-in button for this. There probably is, but I don't know where to find it. But you can... just click on the little die option right above the chat window.
You can actually click like willpower, and then there's a little box beside the word willpower to add logic to it.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you go to your skills tab in your character sheet and then click on the word willpower and then select logic from the drop down and then throw that.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah.
That is 3 successes against the 4 damage. You're going to take 1 point of stun damage. You get a minor headache and have to take a deep breath for a moment, but mostly feel okay. So I'm going to put 1 point of damage on your stun track, which you should see filled in at the top. You take no penalties to your actions yet. It's not enough damage to negatively affect you. So you have successfully jumped on the spirit just before it could get out the window and severed its connection to its summoner. It is banished. Whatever tasks it owed them got erased, and it is no longer able to report back to its summoner what it saw. So somewhere there's a pissed off mage waiting for a report on something unusual that they are not going to receive.
Well, we're now on a clock.
You've got the elevator moving from something and a missing spirit. So yeah, you're on multiple clocks. So, what are we gonna do?
Can you guys turn the camera off?
Yes.
We're gonna try that before you want to be a sneak, right?
Yes.
I kind of think at this point it doesn't matter, considering that we have a mage that knows we're here, and then we have another camera. Like, we might as well just, like, try to scan and find the stuff as quick as possible and get out.
Okay, well then I will sneak in and see if, I can see at the very least if the elevator is coming to this floor.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sneaking check.
Or it's...
Alright. Sneaky.
Here is the camera. 1 hit. The camera doesn't seem to have detected you. You're standing directly under it, and you're scanning the room. First of all, you see that the elevator is on the floor beneath you. It stopped 1 floor below you. On the 9th floor, which is where you tripped that camera. So it might be somebody going to investigate the camera that spotted. Floor. Oh, okay, 2 floors below you then. So it stopped on the floor where Bill tripped the camera. And you can also scan the lobby area. You can see that one of the more utilitarian-looking doors on the east side of this room, not the fancy-looking office suite door, but the, like, staff-looking door, has a small window cut out, and you can see blinking lights of electronics coming from that room.
That's where we want to go.
Mama. Okay.
Perhaps the room.
Well, I'm gonna kind of like whisper or like move slowly back to them. That's probably the room we want to go. There's a camera. The elevator is on the floor we were just in. So do you want to try and turn the camera off? Do you want me to just cut the cord with a knife? Like,
Josh, did I get a vibe from the camera on the 8th floor that if it was disconnected, it would send a signal of any kind, or that like someone would be alerted? Like, there's not someone actively watching the feed of the camera on.
You have no way of knowing.
There's no way to know. Okay.
is there a way for you guys to loop the footage?
Yeah, go ahead. Can I just attempt to hack the camera?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do hack on the fly or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the limit is on your rolls because it's not showing them on the rolls, but
I will explicitly add it because I know.
but
that.
these cameras are dopey, so you can go ahead and roll, and if it's not close, then we don't need to check right now. 5 hits is going to hit whatever your cap is, which is enough marks, so...
Says his limit is 8.
Yeah, my mental limit's 8.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I will.
You've got
control
sufficient
device.
marks to do any other action you want on the camera.
Yeah, I want to control device and like turn it off or something.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then God dang it, sorry, I'm gonna roll summary here. Control device is a stat I actually have points in, so I will play to my strengths going forward. But yeah, it's electronic warfare with intuition.
Martial
Later, what's
requires
fun, man?
1 free, 2 simple, 3 complex. I don't know what that means.
Easy.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
opposed by firewall, but yeah.
Okay. I don't think it can succeed, so... Oh, yeah, it got 0 successes. Alright, you get it.
Okay, I'll disable it.
Alright, nice.
Yeah.
Corey. While in Matrix space, you encounter another icon approaching. It's a persona, meaning it's another person in Matrix space, and they have the appearance... You get to decide what you look like in the Matrix, although the rules of the Matrix generally dictate that you have to look like some kind of humanoid to be recognizable as a persona. But some other icon in Matrix space is approaching you and hovering just near you as though checking you out, and it appears to be taking the form of a humanoid woman with, like, Black Widow spider legs coming out of her back. And she's floating up to you and checking you up and down. And, in Matrix space, she speaks to you and goes, "You should not have come into my web."
Well, okay. Let's.
You can do one of two things.
Okay.
You can straight up unplug before she can react by just swapping out of Matrix space and, like, going offline. Because she seems to be just standing there idly watching you and checking you out instead of initiating direct hostile action as of now. Or you can just roll off Matrix initiative to try to get into a brouhaha with this person.
If you do the latter, you should let me know so I can help you in your brouhaha.
Let's brouhaha. That sounds more
Alright.
fun.
Do a Matrix initiative roll.
Okay, how do I do that?
Am I... If he tells me, am I able to jack in and do the same thing?
Yeah, you can.
We can 2v1 this Spider Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Surely there's something to click here.
Yeah, one sec. I'm just... one sec. I'm just putting your icons on the map in the stairwell for purposes of being able to add you to the initiative tracker. And I'm going to try to do this quickly. since we're looking for a stopping point here soon. Starting counter. All right. There's Echo and there's Ryan. All right. I think we switch you into Matrix mode if there's like a toggle for that somewhere.
Yeah, I toggled it.
Okay. Can you do the same, Bill? If you tell him how to do it.
I'm there.
Okay. Now I think if I roll you on the initiative tracker. All right. I rolled both of you. And I need to roll for this other person.
I have a 16.
Can somebody tell me the formula for Matrix Initiative? What dice it rolls, if you have it?
It rolled 3d6. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, Josh.
I'll pull it up.
I have a base of 7.
Hold up. I was looking at it earlier.
I was just wondering if anybody had
On
it up.
page 159. For Matrix, it's reaction and
here we go.
intuition.
Alright. Be with you in a moment. Ooh, critical glitch.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
This person is not only going last, but you're all probably going to get to take multiple actions before she can take another one.
Yeah.
She's caught off guard while studying you, and then you very quickly react in a way that startles her. Bill's going to spend his first action jacking in and then moving to you, but you're going to get a turn, and then both of you are going to get another turn. Bill's going to jack in, and you get to do anything you want. Then she's going to get a turn, and then you both get a free turn before there's a fresh initiative roll. So go ahead and you take whatever action you want, Corey.
I want to cast a complex form. I want to use Puppeteer
Okay.
on them.
Does that require marks or anything?
I don't think so. It just requires a certain number of hits for me to do.
So what does that do?
It lets me like force them to do an action.
Okay.
Of my choice. It's opposed by Firewall and Will.
Okay. You push resonance commands into a target, forcing it to perform a matrix action. Pick a target and a matrix action for it to perform. Make a software and resonance versus willpower and firewall tests.
Is that just something Technomancers can do?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a magic spell.
It's like a Technomancer spell.
Sweet.
And he's going to have to resist fading, which is the equivalent of like drain that Allison has to do. He could take mental damage from the difficulty of doing it. And what level are you casting it at? That'll determine how many successes you can get.
I guess.
If you want to make them do a complex action, you need 3 successes.
Yeah.
So that requires it be level 3. If you want it to be a simple action, level 2. If you want it to be a free action, level 1.
I guess the question I have is, can I make them do multiple actions if I get enough hits?
Just 1.
Just 1? Okay.
Delete your account.
But if you do complex action or something, you can make them like go offline or reboot or something.
Yeah.
Basically disconnect them.
Okay, I'll do level 3.
Okay. So go ahead and make a software and resonance, and that'll be capped at 3 successes max, and that is against her willpower and firewall.
Fuck him up, Echo!
Oh my goodness.
That was not a glitch, right? It just almost was a glitch. And you got... Oh, cool. It shows incoming fade for S.
Yes, I can do the fade. I can click and do the fade test.
Yeah, go ahead and do the fade test to see how much you resist. You're going to take some stun damage from this, probably, unless your fade test is very good. And I'll roll for the other person.
Yeah, I'm not taking nothing.
Wow.
I ain't
Nice.
taking jack.
Nice. And that's going to be willpower and firewall for this other person. Give me 1 sec. That is going to be 7 dice. Ooh, 4 hits to resist. You got 1 net hit. A net hit. Make a software and resonance versus willpower and firewall test with a threshold. Why does it say threshold if it's opposed? If you succeed, the target performs the matrix action. Okay, yeah. It says if you succeed, and it's a threshold. Oh, it's a threshold 3 for a complex action. Pick a target and a matrix. Oh, you picked the action in advance, so you needed to win by 3, and you won by 1. Because she got a really good roll on her resistance. So it fails, but you take no fading in the process.
Net hits, okay. That sucks.
She is going to...
Because she critically failed?
She still gets a turn. Or what does a glitch on an initiative roll do? I don't know.
Let's ask the game master.
Yeah, somebody should really know this.
I just assumed she was stunned for a couple rounds.
Glitch on initiative.
You would think it comes up sooner. I'm in like the initiative area and I'm not seeing glitching.
I think a lot of things suggest what happens when a critical glitch happens, but I'm not seeing one attached to the initiative description, so it's probably going to come into the GM decides what goes wrong purview. And for a critical glitch on an initiative, on a matrix initiative roll, I will probably say that she's probably going to see you trying to use a complex form and panic and like reboot. So she's gonna like disperse and go back where she came from.
Okay.
And because she wasn't prepared for this to happen. So instead of doing what she should have been doing, she's gonna just straight up panic and unplug and with a reboot action.
The legend of Echo continues.
Yeah. And you and Bill have an opportunity to do more Matrix actions if you want, but she's basically rebooted and returned to the place she connected from, so she is out of the room and you have a window to do what you want unmonitored.
Move the camera footage!
Yeah, nuke the camera.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the camera's already, yeah.
You did that already, right? Or did you do the roll for that already? Or no?
I thought we already did that.
I believe, yes, I did.
Okay.
So the camera's good, she showed up, and then I think we're good.
The camera is rebooted and offline and going to take a couple of minutes to do its thing, and you spooked the security hacker into vanishing herself to reboot and go talk to somebody instead of trying to tangle with whatever sort of spooky witchcraft you're trying to do in the Matrix that freaked her out. And so now you have a window to do what you want unimpeded for a minute.
I guess we want to run
The
to
whole
the
group
room
does.
with the lights on, right? With the little computer light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get the data and bounce.
All right. If the whole group is going to run across there, I guess, since the cameras are temporarily down on that part of the lobby, that room is unlocked and it is full of servers. It appears to be some sort of host data center, and about 2/3 of what is in the room is currently offline with most of the lights turned off and just a few red lights blinking. And then there's a few systems up that have monitors showing camera feeds and nobody presently sitting in the chair here to watch them.
Let me data jack into them servers and see if we can find what we're looking for.
Okay.
Oh wait, there's camera footage there, but no one is currently watching it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back towards the elevator. I'm gonna pull out my Beretta and like stand off to the side and just have it up, waiting for the guy to come in to like bash him in the skull, because that dude is definitely about to come back up here.
Okay. Somebody somewhere knows where you are because of that little Matrix encounter. And somebody somewhere is suspicious of where you are because of the security camera you tripped 2 floors down and the spirit going missing. So whoever is on the ball is narrowing the search. Meanwhile, there's physical servers here. Corey, as a technomancer, is only able to connect to wireless signals, and so he's going to have you enable these servers and then enable some sort of wireless capability on them for him to get in with you and access the data. So you're going to have to like physically plug in a data tether with your cyber deck and boot these things up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. You start up the servers. This is a host mainframe. This is meant to be like a hub in the Matrix that does a whole lot of data management for an entire company. So you start hitting buttons to turn things on, and in the Matrix, things are firing up. In Matrix view, you are going to be able to plug into this thing and see just this massive animation of like a skyscraper rising up out of the ground that says DDS on it. It's much more shiny and impressive than the actual office building that this company occupies, but it's basically an enclosed space in the Matrix that hosts their local network. Nice. Icons are popping up and just shooting up to where they are at appropriate floors in the building, and you are just turning a huge corporate data system online. This takes a good 30 seconds to happen, and now there's service running. The room gets a lot louder, and fans to keep these systems cooler just blowing air through the room and into a ventilation system. And in Matrix view, you're seeing things popping up online. And Nico, when this thing boots up, you start getting wireless signals because the wireless host network of the building is coming online. So in the Matrix, when you're just looking around at this blank space of wireless signals, you see this whole thing just shoot up, and you can basically just step foot into it and be inside of this company's corporate data host structure. There's nothing preventing you from stepping into it. You just might not have access to specific files or systems without the proper credentials.
Let's start looking.
You start looking. Make Matrix perception rolls, both of you. We're going to need a bunch of net hits to sift through this mess.
Can I order my sprite to do the perception for me?
Sure.
Because he's better at it.
Kelsey. The elevator's moving. Boop! Mm-hmm. It passes through the floor beneath you.
I'm standing like... If the elevator is opening, I want to be like to the side of it, ready to like smack someone on the head who comes out.
Cressida, you are neither plugged into the Matrix nor standing next to the elevator door. You're somewhere in the middle of this. Your hacker friends are deep in VR land, and your friend with the gun is standing next to the elevator, and you hear it rumbling and moving through the walls. Do you want to be anywhere in particular?
Yeah, I'll go stand with Kelsey.
Okay.
I can give her some. I can probably give her some protection. Let me see.
Alright, I got 3 heals.
Could I summon a spirit to help her with some? Oh no, I guess it's not unarmed combat.
Yeah. I think, much as I would like to play this out, it's probably going to take like another half hour and end up pretty late for everybody. So we might want to pause with Nico searching this just erupting data mainframe as it is coming out and commanding his sprite to go search through the tower for data sources or whatever else it can pick up. Wireless networks coming online, lights turning on in the server room, and the elevator boop stopping at your floor and the door slowly starting to open. We'll just pick it up right there.
Perfect.
I'll sketch out the environs for this floor since you're all on it and put everybody right where they're supposed to be for next time. And we will kick it off with probably an initiative roll that's going to have us doing things simultaneously in Meat Space and the Matrix while we sort out this whole mess. Maybe all 3 if we're lucky. Nice. We might have spirits doing things on the astral plane, hackers doing things in the Matrix, and fighting going on in physical space all at the same time, which is just going to be glorious. But anyway, sorry we couldn't finish out the scenario tonight, but the next session will probably be on the shorter side, but we can still play it out, and there's some follow-up stuff that was going to be rushed if we tried to cram it in tonight anyway, even if we got through all this. So let's do it proper and just pause here on a cliffhanger, and we'll resume in 2 or 3 weeks, probably like the 21st or the 28th or something. I'll message the group and figure out the best date for doing it. But if you've been watching, thanks for hanging out with us, and we will be resuming this in a couple of weeks. Thanks to the players and for powering through the technical difficulties. This will get easier as we do it more and figure out what's going on. I still don't know what went on with the audio issue at the beginning, but we'll figure it out in between so that it doesn't happen next time. We'll do a test call or something just to make sure. But anyway, thanks everybody, and